brightly, shining on those memories. And yes, across the time I see you turning the tide. And do you see now, our time, our turn, we can still fight like the wind and fire and wonder no more. But now is the only time your heart is mine. Night has fallen, darkness grows, and as we fight for our destiny and faith, new days smiling for the past and future. Break the chains, lead the way, fight with me. And when you wake up, open your eyes, raising your fist and smashing through time walls. For the rift splinters again, rise till the end. Rise and open your mind, hold on to your powers, no one can stop us. We are rivals, everything till the end of time. Show me that you are still the only one that matters for me. I'll be waiting for you. Wait up, open your hands, holding on to your heart. Look inside you. Can you feel it? The sparks in you. Ready to unleash it all. Wake up, open your eyes, raising up your fist and smashing through time walls. For the rift splinters yet again. We are rivals to the end. And rise up, open your mind, hold on to your powers, no one can stop us. We are rivals till the end of time. Remember the dusk, the lights gripping tightly, trapping all those fighting souls. But yet, across the world I see you standing in my way. And remember the time, the place we used to fight, the sun and moon. And I wonder if ever there was a time that we were friends. Night has fallen, shadows looming, and yes, the time has come for me to seek you out. We are set now for our last reunion. Break the chains, find your way, come fight me. Do you remember who you really are? Show me that you are still the only one for me. I'll be waiting for you. Wake up, open your eyes, raising up your fist and smashing through time walls. For the rift splinters again. We are rivals till the end. Rise up, open your mind, hold on to your powers, no one can stop us. We are rivals till the end of time. We will clash, no matter where. We will fight, reaching across time and space. 'Cause you are my destiny till the end. Do you see the dawn, the flames burning brightly, shining on those memories? And yes, across the time I see you turning the tide. And do you see now, our time, our turn, we can still fight like the wind and fire and wonder no more. But now is the only time your heart is mine. Night has fallen, darkness grows, and as we fight for our destiny and faith, new days smiling for the past and future. Break the chains, lead the way, fight with me. And when you wake up, open your eyes, raising your fist and smashing through time walls.
Hello, gamers, enthusiasts, just chatters, also people that love to have a conversation in general, and also talkative, shy gamers, autistic gamers, all the beautiful, lovely gamers out there. To be fair, I just have nothing. I just call everyone gamers because I guess it sounds the smartest thing. I don't know, you know. Everyone is a gamer around here, and we all like stuff, you know, so gaming, hobbies, food, you name it, all the above, right? We got all the awesome topics to talk about, but instead, today, we're doing something a little bit different than what we usually do. And usually we play a lot of games, and we have a huge-ass vibe with them, we have fun, we talk about them, we share our opinions, we joke at each other, we troll the crap out of each other too, which is truly amazing how we connect on on that level of basis for entertainment's sake, and also just overall having fun with each other, you know, like brothers and sisters, you know, trolling each other and having a little fun, as long as it's a controlled manner and not like the kind of like the nuisance manner, you know what I mean? But other than that, I'm just ready to vibe, and today it sparked an idea in my brain that I understand how much we love gaming in general, and don't get me wrong, I'm obsessed with stuff, and I want to finish them. I want to just have fun slowly with them so we can move on to other games and have fun keeping making recordings and content prepared so that I can edit them, and God knows how long it will take me to upload them on YouTube, but you know, I'm trying here, so at least I'm trying. But God, that's gonna take so long before that happens, so God help me. I need all the energy and power and motivation to do that, because I did make it clear that even though I don't like to do video editing, I still put the effort as much possible, because I want to make something that I'm sure of you guys will enjoy. So that's why I try to put as much effort as possible, even though it takes me a lot of time, and sometimes time may be a little bit of an issue. And I know some people will say, but Nathan, you have 24 hours a day. How could you possibly not have enough time when you can just simply cancel one of your streams and just literally invest that time into video editing? Which is not a bad idea, but at the same time, it's not something I like doing. And as much as I try to take off the time to do editing, I get some free time when I actually am not working, so I try to utilize that time to do video editing. The only scenario is that sometimes it gets too hectic and too boring that my brain just cannot focus on these things. So it's not easy as people say it is, you know, like the enormous effort to edit, it's no joke, especially when the complexity of editing is so big, especially when you can make them as complicated as you want. Because that's the thing about editing, right? You can have all this talent, and the factor is, you can have all these brilliant ideas in mind, but to actually put them into practical on a video editor, it's not easy to edit videos, especially when you put so much effort. And I know a lot of people will tell you, but if you're doing a really great content, you might not need to edit so much. And it is true to a certain degree. But at the same time, you know, putting a little bit of effects and stuff like that and cutting out certain things, especially for me struggling to communicate sometimes and entertain people, it's very difficult to actually make a stream where I'm always like knowing what the hell I'm saying and not getting off topic or to the point where I'm just confusing people or, you know, not sparking any interest or stuff like that. So that's one of the challenges that I have being a content creator and as an autistic person myself. So to stay on topic or develop an interest on something, especially when you have a crowd watching, it's very difficult for me. And I try my best to entertain in the genuinest possible. So obviously when I'm talking and I'm, you know, presenting myself as a VTuber, I always be myself. The only difference is I'm more energetic. because I feel more comfortable like this, you know, being a VTuber, talking to people, vibing with people. I'm more comfortable. I give my 100% self to you guys. Whether sometimes I be on the word side, sometimes I have the blonde moment side, sometimes I have the absolute dumbass vibes, which is like not me doing stupid things. Well, as in me doing stupid things and like playing video games, like getting myself killed in Dark Souls. We're not going to talk about it. Getting scared by a chair. Again, we're not going to talk about it. And probably getting scared by a goddamn beach ball. Not going to talk about it. So you see all these random moments happening in any particular game. Sometimes horror games and stuff like that. So pretty intense vibes, if you ask me. So that's the joyful, beautiful thing about our moments, is random shit happening, and random stuff keeps things interesting and quite entertaining, if you ask me. So that's like the beautiful part of it. Also, before I continue talking, I noticed the Redeemer's not working. Let me just enable it for you. Moderators, can we give the points back to Dark Helios? Welcome on in, by the way. Let me say hello to all the beautiful people before we start talking about topics today. So this is going to be something different than what I usually do, chat. So this is going to be a nice, beautiful discussion together. I think it's a very healthy thing to have a discussion. And this is something very important, because as much as we have fun playing games, ow, that hurts my head, it's nice to have these discussions, right? So even though I know people will try to troll and they probably won't let me, I'm gonna do the absolute best to still acknowledge you all because I love you all, at the same time just vibe, even though I'm gonna get piped. Exactly, just like that, beautiful. So yeah, this will be fun. But welcome on in to all the beautiful people that came in. So Hyper Knight, Princess, Annie, welcome on in everybody, the great lovely Husky, and Fov. Welcome on in, Fov, to the lovely multi-stream today. We're doing a lovely multi-stream. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. As always, always appreciated to see people in, whether they're lurking or talking. So thank you so much for that. Just before we start talking, I noticed there's another thing I want to fix really quickly. Let me just put the multi-chat on my side. So if anyone starts talking, I know exactly where the chatting is coming from. Whether if it's YouTube or even from Twitch. Give me one moment, chat. I'm just going to do it really quickly. I won't take long. I'm a fast gamer. I'm an IT specialist. I'm a very tech-savvy person. Look at me using my autistic brain to fix shit. I am so intelligent. Look at that. Even though I can be 50% of the times, I can be like a little bit of a dummy dum-dum. But there you go. There you go. See, I am smart. What are you talking about? I'm definitely smart. Very smart. See? Nothing to it. So... hope you guys are doing well, by the way. Once again, thank you all for being here. So, honestly, you know what? I've never done this in a long time, and it's so difficult to act. You know what? This stream is gonna make me realize how difficult it is to have a conversation. Like, as in, during games, I find it easier because you have the game and you can comment about anything, about the aesthetics, about the character, about the animation. You can comment about anything. But boy, is it so tricky sometimes to make just chatting and switching up from something completely different to just coming up with topics to talk about. Isn't that quite fascinating? So this is going to be interesting for me. It's going to be a challenge, but I accept challenges. You know why, chat? You want to hear a little bit of story about what happened yesterday and how much determination it started giving me, and also other fantastic content creators and people out there that have been inspiring people to become better and more amazing in this awesome platform known as the Twitch platform, or even just other platforms, not just Twitch, all the platforms that people make content on. There's a lot of people that people know them for a lot of time, and these people have been around in the YouTube space, and even sometimes they're on Twitch for a long periods of time. We're talking years of content, and they are truly amazing and inspirational because they're quite intelligent people that inspired others to just simply teach them about the joyful meaning of loving something that you do and just take it to the fuller advantage of yourself to make the best out of it, whether if it's content, entertaining people, use it as an opportunity to gain other opportunities and stuff like that. But in a way that at the same time, not only you are happy, but also your audience is happy. Because one thing I learned being a content creator is, first of all, you need to be happy with yourself. That is the number one thing, that is the most important thing ever. Like when you're starting off, most important thing is be happy with yourself, no doubt about that. Because without happiness within yourself, you won't have the mental capacity and stuff like that to actually do content, because you will not be motivated whatsoever. For example, I'm gonna be completely genuine with all of you. I struggle so much to push myself in the best of my abilities to do video editing, because I just find it too time consuming, and sometimes I feel like so much effort that I put into them, when I don't get the kind of results I want on YouTube, it kind of discourages me. And it kind of tells me like, oh my goodness, I spent so long editing this video with, I wish I had the money to like pay video editors. I wish I had the money to pay artists to do like these awesome thumbnails, that people can do. But I don't have that money, so I can't actually pay people to do this kind of work. You know what I mean? So it becomes a point where I'm limited with the resources I have. But at the same time, yo, did I just get hit by something? Oh, hello. Thank you so much for the anonymous follow. Yo, welcome on in. Dak Ship? That is an interesting name. Welcome on in, welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. Can I send a title of a video? Unfortunately, I would have to say no, because we're just doing a discussion, so I will not be looking at videos. But if you want, you can join the Discord and you can send it on Discord if you like. If it's appropriate and nothing 18 plus to the point that makes me uncomfortable, you're welcome. Yes, you're welcome to join the Discord and post it there if you like. Also, welcome on in. Thank you for joining. So thank you. Yo, that just came out of nowhere. Like, in the meantime, like, I'm focusing and chatting with all of you, with like the alerts being so energetic as hell and just giving me that motivation. I love my alerts, they're so fun. So what was I saying? God, there goes my brain. Oh yeah, I was saying like the motivation to have to do editing. Or throwing pipes in my face, that also works too. I mean, I can eat irons, but to have the motivation to actually do editing, it's not easy. And sometimes YouTube, the problem with video editing is that YouTube doesn't do an insanely great job as people think, because people say you need to optimize the title more, you need to optimize description, maybe you need to change up the content, maybe you need to change up the thumbnail, maybe you need to change up a lot of stuff. But the fact that I've noticed a lot of people have been talking about, which kind of makes sense in my opinion, is that to a certain degree, it used to be back in the days where it almost felt like it was easier, like easier-ish to grow on YouTube back in those days, how it used to be, the algorithm. Until, of course, they started pushing out updates and things started to change much more. But the problem with that is it felt like, and even big content creators started talking about this, to be fair, is that it felt like Twitch, oh my goodness. It felt like YouTube, but because mostly we're talking about YouTube. It felt like they were more promoting, of course, the people that brings them the most money because they bring the most attention. And it kind of felt hard that for small content creators, as in small, like, people that haven't been making content for years and maybe they don't have large number of people watching and stuff like that, but it felt like they were struggling, and even I was struggling on YouTube, to be honest. And so many people out there being like small content creators, even though small is very subjective, depending on what you see as small and big, because in my opinion, I really don't like using the word small or big, because like I always, you know, like enforce with my own words, is that no matter the size of your community, it doesn't make you any less of a good streamer just because you have 2 people watching. Just because you don't have 1 million subscribers or 10k subscribers or anything like that, it doesn't mean it makes you any bad of a content creator compared to other people that have over millions. You know, that just only means you haven't been discovered by the right people. Or it could also mean, which is not actually a lie, just so you guys know, it could also mean that YouTube is not doing a good job promoting the small content creators. Because I would like to pay for YouTube ads and stuff like that. And also pay for pipes getting thrown in my faces. Welcome on in, Frogo, by the way. Thank you for joining. And I would like to pay for all these features and stuff like that to promote my stuff. But a lot of people just say that you can actually be successful by not spending so much money. You can be. But it doesn't mean that it's gonna be done in a matter of years. Or it can be done in... who knows? Like, it's so hard to tell nowadays, you know what I mean? Because the way I see it is you don't need to go overboard spending a shit ton of money to grow. Because, like I always say, it's worthless having a imagine it's worthless having a $10,000 PC or whatever, how much money you want to spend, and you have the best camera, the best microphone. If you're not going to invest in your attitude and behavior and the way you talk to people and the way you think and the way you act, people will not watch your content. People will just leave because they say, oh, what an arrogant person, what an absolute negative vibes I get from this person. And I don't blame people for just leaving, because the attitude is the most important thing. In any case scenarios, even when you literally go to work or school or anything, your attitude is important, because with the wrong attitude, you won't get opportunities. People won't talk to you. People won't make connections with you. People just won't care. And it makes sense, because at the end of the day, giving a good impression is an important thing. And also just being nice in general. Like, it's just common stuff. Like, just be nice. No need for this hatred and jealousy and fighting. Like, there's no need. It's okay, maybe you don't like someone, that's all right, but there's no need to be this grudge and fighting going on. Like, we can still, in a respectful manner, just give each other like spaces and respect one another. You know, there's no need for that drama. To be fair, I made mistakes in the past, but we can all learn, right? I mean, we still have the ability to shape our future in the good way, in the way that we learn from our mistakes and learn to do better. And at this point, everyone learns. You know, no one is perfect in the world, and at the same time, we learn to grow together as a family, as a community, right? I've seen a lot of people out there. They showed their experience when they were young, and now they're like one of the most inspirational content creators out there. And I remember how much they struggled. They made a lot of mistakes, and they got a lot of controversies in the past. Nowadays, they have families. They are really the most awesome people you can have conversations with. People changed. Some people can change. You can't assume that just because a person was bad 5 years ago, the person is going to stay the same in the next 10 years. How do you know? You don't know the person. Maybe the person will learn. Maybe the person will change. So these are things that people always need to take into consideration, is that people have the opportunity to shape themselves better. But the question mark is, how much are you willing to do all the effort to do that? I'm willing to put all the effort to do whatever I can to make you guys happy and make sure not to make anyone uncomfortable at the same time. You know, just vibing with all of you, making friends, have fun connecting with all of you, chatting with you, and at the same time, just inspiring others. That's what I always try to do. It ain't easy, because I know it's difficult to gain people's trust, which is completely fine. But I will do all the effort to convince people that I want to be one of those VTubers that I want to inspire and spread positive vibes, and also at the same time just show people out there that no matter what you are, a dolphin, an alien, a freaking airplane, like, who cares what you think, as long as you're happy with who you are, and as long as you know that your actions are not affecting people in the negative way, or if they did, you're trying to make them right by making things right with that person, you know, fixing what you did. That shows and justifies that, in my book, you are a good person. Because you're trying. Other people wouldn't try. Other people wouldn't give two shits. Other people will just do whatever the hell they want, and they say, oh, who cares about consequences? Consequences, I can deal with them. I just want to make my life difficult because I just want to be greedy and benefit myself. Who gives a two craps? But the thing is, that kind of attitude speaks for itself. Like, that kind of attitude just shows the kind of person, the kind of people they are. Like, you don't need an expert to tell you what kind of an image that person is putting on themselves with that kind of attitude. So I always say, treat people how you want to be treated. You treat people like shit, people will treat you like shit. You treat people with respect, people will treat you with respect. You show them the genuine side of yourself, people will often show the genuine side of themselves. Because that's the real truth. Like, people will vibe based on the energy you provide. So the energy I provide is this awesome, chaotic vibe with a positive twist. So to spread entertainment, to spread excitement and inspiration, even with just the power of my voice, I can project my excitement. I can project this positive notion to allow this positivity to influence people in the best, brightest way, to not only make people happy, but it allows them to, after stream, after they turn off their computer or mobile device and say, oh my god, what an absolute awesome stream I had watching this person, they'd be like, it made me so happy, I can go on with my life and proceed for the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And be like, man, watching this person made me so happy, it makes me want to proceed on something that I used to give up in the past, or maybe I didn't have enough confidence to do in the past. And that's what I want to give as a message, is to inspire people. So that's what I feel as a content creator that I would love to share. Besides that, before I continue talking about other things, let me catch up with chat. So, by the way, if anyone wants to say something, please don't be shy. Don't be distracted just because I'm talking and ranting and all that. Like, I'm just sharing my own personal opinion and my own personal things about, like, what I think and what my brain thinks. So everyone is entitled for opinion. So guys, please share. Don't be shy. You know, this is a judge-free stream. So if you have something you want to say, just make sure it's not negative, or or just make sure that it's not going to be something that pisses people off. That's it. Other than that, just have fun talking, and feel free to ask any questions if you guys have any questions at mind. Let me see. Let's go. Let's see. Haven't we all made mistakes? Exactly. Yes. That is true. Like I said, no one is perfect. So if perfection, this is another beautiful thing that a friend of mine told me, which I met from stream, and his name is Ansel, and he is a very awesome, lovely streamer from India. The most beautiful thing he told me, and I agreed immediately because it was the most truthful thing I ever heard, is that if the world was as simple as black and white colors representing the good and evil, and people had one role to fill, which makes them perfect just for that role. For example, some people be evil, some people be good. The world would have no reason to, like, have these right or wrong routes. People would just say, my purpose is this, and that's it. And the world would be boring, because everyone would be just black and white, and there wouldn't be any other colors. There wouldn't be red, blue, green, purple. The world would just be boring. It's always like black and white. And I mean, don't get me wrong. That's when we were in the past, when we used to watch television back in the days, we had black and white pictures and it used to be fun. But the whole meaning behind it is imagine the black representing whatever and the white representing whatever, or the way you want to see it, okay? Like whatever you want to see it. But imagine you have one road, another road, negative, positive, and the middle. You have two. If the world was split in negative and the world was split into positive, and you would say a person has one role to fill, the world would be boring, because then you're limited in opportunities, you're limiting your life, you're limiting your happiness, you're limiting the options to do great things or whatever you want to do with your life in that case, because it's your decision at the end of the day. But the whole point of it's boring, you know, to have people doing the same thing. That's why, in other words, that's the beauty and not beauty about having differences. Depending on what you do with your differences makes a big difference, though. Because the problem with certain things, and this is the problem I feel in society, is that with good things come bad things. So whenever we invest into something good, like technology, so many things evolve. Technology. Also, Sonic rings! Give me those Sonic rings! Beautiful Sonic rings. Somebody actually fed me Sonic rings. I'm actually happy. Imagine me. I'm a simpleton. Thank you, Zen, for the Sonic rings. But just to tell you all, my God, what was I saying? I was so happy with the Sonic rings. I actually got distracted. My God, what was I saying? Was it about not Sonic? My brain just flipped to Sonic rings because we're so used to gaming. You know what? I don't think it. You know what? Whatever it was, that was nice. And at this point, we can just talk about something else. I don't care. We can just keep the train rolling. So at this point, if anyone remembers what I just said, because this is the problem. My brain just. Oh, the mistakes people make. Oh yeah. So. My goodness, I'm trying to remember. It's so hard. So what I was trying to say is it's the routes that people take in their life between good and evil. And if the world had one purpose, oh yeah, and the quote. So if the world had one purpose, and that is your purpose is to do only one thing. And what I was saying, oh yeah, now I remember. There you go. See, my autistic brain is actually clicking. So we were talking about technology. So we were talking about the good things can be used for evil. The real thing about these decisions, it all comes down to the person. And it comes down to the fact that with good things come bad things. And the reality is, the sad reality actually, is look at all the evolution of gaming and the evolution of technology we have nowadays. We have so much technology and potential. But with that potentiality, also there will be vulnerability. And vulnerability as in people can use technology for bad reasons, to hijack systems, steal money, hack stuff illegally, doing a lot of legal stuff, and pretty much like causing a lot of destruction and financially destroying people and stuff like that. So in the technology world, it's a scary place because technology can also hurt people, believe it or not. Even if it's not mentally, it can also be physically. Especially when nowadays we have the power to make robots using AI technology. So that's the thing, like whenever there's something good, it can also be transferred to something evil. But at the same time, that is when it comes to us, the good people out there, the people that inspire positivity, to inspire others, why they should actually do something good. Why should they make a better decisions in their life? Why would you promote something good instead of something bad? Because, you know, doing something bad is just not worth it. It's not worth having all those problems in your life, all these tough decisions, all these complications for nothing. Like, why would you do that? It's just unnecessary shit. You know what I mean? So, of course, that comes with many other explanations. Like, I know a lot of people end up making some wrong decisions. It could be to a lot of things. It could be trauma. It could be bad experiences. It could be maybe there's someone in your life or some people in your life that are affecting you negatively. And It could be that these people, you're meeting them on a daily basis. It could be like colleagues. It could be potentially anybody. And you just simply can't do anything. You're stuck in a situation where you're like, you're trying to get along with people and oh my God, these people just piss me off, or they're annoying, or they're just always grumpy, or which is frustrating. I get that. I mean, that's pretty much an example of what I used to deal with many years ago. And it's hard and affects your mental health quite a lot, because you become in a situation where what the hell are you going to do? A lot of people will tell you just quit your job, just try to find a way to move away. But like, what people don't understand, imagine being in their shoes. Sometimes it's not that easy to make decisions like that. So that's why I always say I'm the kind of person that listens. But when I talk very carefully about these things because I can understand their situation. So you cannot just suggest shit and just say, oh, just get a new job. I don't know their situation, what it could be. Maybe it's not that easy to get a job over there. Who knows? So I'm one of those people that listen a lot. And sometimes in like sensitive topics like this, I tend to be quiet and just be very careful what I say, because I know that these kind of situations, it's very hard to answer them, especially if you've not been in that situation. So it's very tricky, and life is full of surprises. But what I will tell you is that one way or another, no one has a perfect life. Nobody. Perfection in life doesn't exist, doesn't even begin. Even if you're the richest person in the world, it doesn't even begin with perfection. There's no such thing. You can have all the money in the world and you can buy all the things. You can be smart to do business and invest them. But one thing I can always say, there are some things money can't buy. And that is genuine love and genuine connections with people. You don't get genuine connections by paying them money. You don't get people loving you and respecting you by paying them money. Like, that is bribing as shit, and no one will appreciate that, even if you give them millions of dollars. So that's one thing I always say, that respect people genuinely. If you want to be respected, be yourself and be happy and make others happy. And don't expect anything from nobody. Like, don't expect anything. Just be happy with them, vibe with them, talk to them, and that's it. Don't expect anything. Don't expect $5. Don't accept a fucking chocolate cake. Don't accept a nice T-bone steak. Nothing. Now I'm getting hungry. Nothing. So that's the most important lesson I've learned, is just be yourself, make others happy, and that's it. Don't expect anything else. Anything. Besides that, I wanted to talk about something very special and something that I've been noticing from these really inspirational content creators that I have been watching for quite some time, and their growth is endless, and it just inspires me to actually move forward. And these people have been through a lot, and the fact that there's these really cool announcements that I've been following on Twitter stating the huge success that these people did is truly enormous, because they are shaping the future generation of content creation in a very positive way. Because, man, they're really smart, intelligent people. They're super nice. And one of them I've been watching since I was very young. And this person, which to a certain degree, I had moments where I was like, how could this person actually know what's going to happen in 5 years, 6 years? I was like, this person is intelligent. Don't get me wrong. I was not trying to say that this person doesn't know, but it felt a little bit doubtful, saying, how could this person actually predict what's going to happen? Because it's difficult to say what's going to happen. But this person knew deep down, like inside out, like who the actual genuine creators are, and who are those like creators online that are seeing as this like positive image for PR sake and for business sake. And all they have actually been doing is spreading rumors and lies behind stuff, stating that they're doing charities. And don't get me wrong, it's nice doing charities, but there was also a very really which I had no idea it was possible, but there was proof in the past that there are some people using charity as an opportunity for them to give themselves a good image, to try and convince and manipulate people in a psychological way to try and give themselves a good image again, to pretend like nothing ever happened, just to clear off their name. And people do that, by the way. Like, it's not something I'm making up. This actually happens a lot of times. Like, people say, I will just do charity, I can raise 2 million easily. What's the worst can happen? People can look over it. People can do that shit, and it's not good. Like, I understand you're trying to do something good, but doing something good to excuse the negative so you can do more negative in the future, and you continue to try and make excuses to excuse your actions, that shit is not tolerable whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like, I can make a lot of bad things, but just because I do a lot of good at the same time, it doesn't mean I can continue to do bad things. No, obviously I have to learn from them. I have to improve. You know, you can't just make excuses to justify your action, because otherwise you're just denying yourself that you're any other good person at this point. You know what I mean? So having this sense of ignorance and say that I can just do whatever the hell I want, and then I can just use the power of goodness as a psychological tactic to trick people, that's just not the right way. Because a lot of people do that, and I haven't realized that a lot of people are smart. And they know how to abuse this tactic into basically confusing their audience, and it's quite fishy and it's quite bad, but it happens, unfortunately. And that also justifies the fact that nowadays there also been situations where people don't know who to trust. Like, how can I tell that this person is a genuine person? How I can tell this person is actually doing something because they care? Sometimes it becomes a very tough situation where you just won't know who is actually doing something good, because they are simply doing it out of love, because of passion, because they actually enjoy doing it and not taking advantage of people. Because that's the problem. A lot of days nowadays, and I'm sure you guys can all understand, all the chatters out there, the problem with the world is that the more you try to be good, because you're actually a good person, and sometimes out of goodwill, it can get the best of you. Some people will try to take the advantage of your goodwill. For example, I'm gonna be honest with all of you. I can be naive as a person sometimes. Sometimes I can't tell what is a joke. Yes, I'm sorry. Like, I try to fit in, I try to make jokes and fit in and all that stuff. And at the same time, I just tend to believe people so easily. Yes, I know, I have that bit of a problem. But to be fair, I've learned so much from just listening to people. Just listening to people, I've learned so much about people. That's the beauty about it. I've learned a lot. So that's the awesome thing. Like, it doesn't matter if you forget so easily or sometimes you have problems communicating. Just listening to people is already enough to help you learn and be smart. And this is coming from an autistic person that struggles to read so much, but I'm a very good listener, that sometimes certain words I can easily remember. Just as how much I will remember the expressions of people's faces when I see them. That's how much I remember. Imagine, you know how much brain power and stuff you need for that? I can imagine the amount of brain power people need to just read stuff and remember shit. Imagine reading like 300 pages and people can memorize that easily. I'm jealous because I'm like, how the hell you people do that? I wish I had that superpower. Like, I can't even read one page without forgetting half of it. In fact, that's why I struggle to read. And it's not because I'm an idiot. It's just my brain just makes it too difficult for me. It doesn't mean I give up. Like, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean I want to give up. But the challenge that I have to push myself to do something, it's enormous. And it's people, there are some people, which is the thing that I hate so much, is they think that just because you're explaining how your brain operates, not because you're trying to make an excuse. You're simply just explaining. Because a lot of people, and this is the most toxic mindset I've ever heard by a lot of people, and the sad part, this is a lot of common. A lot of people out there think that having a disability or having anything at all, it can be ADHD, it can be autism, it can be a lot of things. They think that they're excuses. You heard that correctly. They think they're excuses. And the fact is, we simply talk about it for the sake of our own health. It's not for the sake of making excuses. It's for self-awareness. Because it's important to have these discussions with people, to be open. It's a beautiful thing. Me being open about my autism just makes me confident and proud of myself to say, hey guys, you're supporting an autistic person who's trying to be the best version of himself, doing as many good things as possible in hopes of entertaining the crowd and just overall having fun doing what I love doing, which is making content. And that shit is difficult. You know, that shit is crazy difficult to convince people and talk about. It's not easy to be open about these things, guys, because a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are worried. A lot of people feel like they're gonna be judged easily. And I don't blame them, because when I was young, at the age of 6 years old, I used to get bullied a lot because I had autism. Because people treated me like shit. Because they thought that I'm just too idiot to reach college, whatever, reach a job, so on and so forth. So you can imagine the amount of struggle I had to go through at a very young age. And I will say that I'm a sensitive person, a really huge sensitive person. Of course, I'm not as sensitive as I used to be because, you know, after years passed, of course, things, I changed, and I changed for the better, and I started gaining more experience on these situations. But I would be lying if I tell you that those will always keep haunting you down. No matter how much you try to forget, they will keep haunting you down. But the most important thing that I learned is that if you learn to channel those moments in a way that you can try to find a way to balance your life with happiness, with things that make you happy, you can overcome that negative emotion you had in the past, and things can actually work better for you. For example, sometimes there are situations which you can see the positive side of things. I'm not saying everything, but there are some things which you can see the positive side of things. And you can use that to your advantage in situations to help you become better, to help you figure out a solution whenever you meet up with that situation again, so that next time you know what to do. But of course, it depends on the situation. But I mean, we're not alone, everybody. We have each other. We are a community. That's what I value the most. We help each other. We support one another. We joke, we laugh, we troll the fuck out of each other. We vibe with each other. That's the beauty thing about, you know, content creation and having a community, right? Is having a space where you can all relate, where we can vibe together, where we can have fun. So, you know, like, that's the most awesome thing in my opinion, yeah? Like, having something to relate, which is a very beautiful thing. So, before we move on, let me have a look and read some of the comments. So let's go up there. Let's see. I mean, back when you played Final Fantasy X 1 and 10 2, I did get a little mad a few times during your playthrough, but I got over it. I did need my own space. Fair enough. So yeah, see, like, we all make mistakes, you know, like, no one is perfect. And I can assure you that sometimes, at least back in the days, it was much more challenging than you guys imagine. It's not like I was trying to be an asshole or anything on purpose, obviously, but sometimes, yes, my brain gets all over the place and I just don't, and I ended up not realizing that sometimes certain things are sometimes best not said, or just I don't know, maybe I was just being an idiot in general at that time. Who knows? I don't remember. That was a long time ago. But, you know, I still, till this day, always say I'm wary of what I say and be careful how you think and how you express things. Because I know some things can be misunderstood, that people will use that against you. So I am, from now on, more self-aware of these things, just to make sure that, just to be careful in general, you know? Speaking of Final Fantasy X and Ratchet and Clank 2, going commando voice of Ratchet is the same guy who voiced Tidus from Final Fantasy X. He was actually quoted Final Fantasy X, which was amazing, and I quote, this may be our last chance. I love that. That's a really nice quote. Really love that. That's a very cool quote. That is a quote of realization that you may not be lucky in life to have a second chance, but you should not spoil that second chance. If you know that this is worth it to have a second chance to make something right, don't miss that opportunity. And to be fair, having a second chance in anything is the most beautiful and treasurable thing you can have. You have no idea how lucky you can be to have a second chance. In anything, really, not just making things right. In job opportunities, anything. It's a hell of a blessing. And trust me, some people get jealous over it, and I don't blame them. Because sometimes you may not be lucky to have second chances. So, guys, whenever you have a second chance to make something right, for the love of God, please don't waste that opportunity. I'm not saying focus too much on the negative, but at the same time, if you know that there's a potential chance to turn something positive, I would advise maybe try look into it and see if you have this chance to try and make things better. That's it. That's all. If you think it's too much, then you are also completely fine to make the right decision and move on. That's also a very valid decision to do. And in fact, on the contrary, sometimes that can be the best decision you can do. But if you know some friendships or anything, or some people that you know that is worth it to have the second chance to make things right, go for it. But if you think like you don't have the stomach, or you think it will be too late by then, it's okay to move on. So always remember that. I do my best to always take care of my friendships and just be there to help people and be happy. But at the same time, I can't do miracles. I'm only one person and I can only do so much. And at the same time, in a certain degree, you can tell who really wants to be your friend and who doesn't want to be your friend. It's not always straightforward, but sometimes you can tell even by just people's behavior towards you. So always keep that in mind. Like, there are friends, as a really awesome streamer said, which is Wizard of Time, and he said this amazing quote: there are friends for days, there are friends for weeks, there are friends for months, and there are friends for lifetime. And it's very true. And one thing I learned from my friends yesterday when I went ice skating, because it was one of the most fun experiences I had, is you cannot mix friendships. Mixing friendships is is the worst thing you can do. Mixing friendships is the worst thing. You cannot mix your in real life friendships with friendships you've met on Twitch. Because the chances are there might always be something that there can always be an argument about. Not always the case, because if you make friends based on gaming, they might actually find something to talk about, but sometimes it's really not a good idea to mix friendships. Because I can promise you all, if I ever mixed friends with friends that I meet elsewhere, they will always just find something to make a joke out of, and it can be annoying, and it's just... they wouldn't vibe. They wouldn't vibe with each other. At least that's what I think. Like, even I don't mind people that joke around and have fun. In fact, I encourage it, but there's a limit to how much you joke around at certain things. I know some people, the problem is they take jokes way beyond, and it's annoying and it's hurtful and it's not good. But some people are okay with that, which is their own way of vibing. You know, I'm not going to criticize on it, but You know, like imagine I'm gonna get someone sensitive as a friend, but I like this guy and he's a good friend, and you're gonna mix him with other friends that are just really, really different. I mean, I can try, but I don't think usually I don't think that's usually a good idea, especially if you know how they behave or how they usually vibe with people. Especially if you know someone, if you know how your friend is, not inside out, but you know mostly like how your friend behaves, how your friend thinks. It's difficult sometimes to mix them with spaces that you know there might be a chance they may not be comfortable. At the same time, if you're showing them that you're doing it out of good intention, of course, they have to agree to it. Because every time I ask my friend, in fact, you know what I do? Something that you guys, in my opinion, should do. I always ask my friend, I'm like, hey, I have a person, he's very energetic, and sometimes he can be a little bit too funny. Are you okay with like bringing this person along so we can hang out together? That's what I always do, and that's a good thing, and I can tell you why. Because that way you are setting up a boundary between your friend and saying that if your friend is not comfortable with the other person that they never met or they have met before, you're respecting their boundaries, and at the same time, you're not going to try and force something to create conflict or fighting or anything like that. You're respecting both boundaries. And you're respecting both of them. Just because you're friends with someone else and you have a friend that doesn't like your other friend, it doesn't mean that you can't be friends with both. You just have to be sure that you respect both of their boundaries, and if they have a problem with each other, don't try to force to be together in a group, if that's usually what's best. So that way you avoid unnecessary drama, conflicts, and all that. So that's what I usually do to play it safe. I ask my friend and be like, hey, are you okay with this person or this girl hanging out with us and go watch a movie or something? And if he's okay with it, I'm like, you know, at the same time, I'm a very open guy. So if he says no, I'm not going to be pissed off. In fact, on the contrary, I have been friends with this guy for a long time. I know the kind of person he is. And when he says no, I never take it any personal, because we've been friends for a long time, and at the same time I know this person and I know how he feels, I know what his experience was. So at the same time, as being a true friend to him, I respect his boundaries if he says no. So if he doesn't want a new friend to vibe, that's okay. At least keep in mind you said you offered in a comfortable position to say, would you like? But if the person says no, in your mind, you can always say, you tried. And that's enough. That's literally enough. No need to force another friend into your friend. No need to force anything at all. You're just giving that person the option, hey, you have the opportunity to talk to this girl, to talk to this man, to talk to... If that person doesn't want that, it's completely okay, and there's nothing wrong with it. Anyways, besides talking about this, I wanted to talk about another topic. You see, we just ended up going in another topic completely new and completely different. So, by the way, hope everyone is okay over there in chat. Are you still with me, chat? Is everything all good? Is everyone okay? I hope I'm not being too, how do you say? Too, well, not emotionally attached, more like, I guess, sensitive? May be the right word. I know, I don't think I'm being too much sensitive on the topic. If anyone out there is not feeling good or anything, by all means, please speak up. I just want to be sure that you guys are fine with this, okay? Because I can talk about a lot of things and I don't want people to sound pissed off or anything like that. So please talk to me. Or if you want, message me on DMs. That's also cool too. Or if you don't want to, that's up to you. But I'm open here to listen to people. So feel free to share your own experiences and ask me questions if you want. So, what I wanted to talk about... Yep, thank you for being here, Maxine. As the saying goes, keep your friends close, keep your enemies even closer. Exactly. Exactly. That is very true. That's a very common one, actually, which I like it. I like how very life lesson that quote is. Well, that's common stuff, but also that's sad to hear. Yep. sometimes reality can be a bit harsh, unfortunately, but it doesn't mean we can't shape our reality into something a bit more positive. We still have the power to shape our reality into much more positive future. So never give up. You know, like, you have the opportunity to make friends. You have the opportunity to be in spaces where I'm sure you will meet people like-minded like you, and you will start slowly making friends. So don't give up on other people, because there are other people who know your shit. Like, they know what you've been through, and they can truly understand how you feel. So trust me, what you're feeling, you're not alone. There are a lot of people that feel what you feel. So trust me, just because you think you have the shittiest life, don't you even think for a second that other people out there in the world are not having the similar struggle as you are. Potentially there could be people having it much worse than you. Who knows? The world is filled with different people, so you will never know. There's a lot of struggles in the world, so always keep that in mind. There's always someone who's going to relate to you. Always. Always. It's just inevitable. There's always going to be someone relatable to you. Always. Let's see. You're fine just doing your hair while listening? Hey, that's lovely. What? Also, can I ask you a nice personal question? What kind of styling do you like to do with your hair? Because I know, like, for men, I mean, I like to do like the faded style, you know, more like the modern-ish style. You know, I kind of, even though my hair doesn't grow long, but you know what, I can still do some styling. Even though I'm a simple person, I just go with the really stylish look because I just feel it's the comfy and also it's also the neat looking handsome style, you know. I just like that style very much. Although if I had really long hair, that I can do a lot of style. To be fair, I'm jealous for all those people having long hair, because as much as I try to let it grow, my hair is like it's like curly hair, and it doesn't grow much. So I'm like, man, I wish I had that nice, beautiful Viking hair. I never had that opportunity. You know, it maybe if I was born as a female, even to be fair, not even that, because the thing is, for a lot of girls, like commonly, it's almost like pretty much every girl that I've met, they will. It's genetic. We're talking like genetic wise. Like it feels like, to me, I'm not sure if this is true or not. I could be wrong, but it feels like genetically wise, no matter who it is, pretty much you can always have big hair, which is actually awesome. I'm actually jealous of that. Again, I'm not sure if that's true. Like, I don't know. But every girl that I met, at least that I'm friends with, everyone has long hair. Not a single person has... Well, of course they will have short hair because they cut their hair, but like, as in like genetically wise, they... Like, pretty much all the girls I've met, like, they will all... Like, genetically all can grow like really long hair. You know, I can't grow long hair. I tried growing long hair. It's not possible. I tried growing really long hair. So, you know, I don't know why I can't grow long hair. I don't know. Maybe it's common for a lot. Maybe it's common for a lot of males, genetically wise, to not grow long hair. I see like men that has this really beautiful hair, but maybe it's just rare to see that. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's pretty rare to see that kind of stuff. You know, like, I don't know, anyone out there, I have a question to anyone in the chat. Do you think that this is like genetic wise? Or do you think this is just, I don't know, maybe they're doing something to have long hair? I don't know at all. I have no idea. Like, does anyone have an idea about that? Like, what do you guys think? Do you think it's a genetic thing for like girls to like naturally be with long hair and then they just cut it? Or could it just simply be that sometimes male can have long hair, but maybe they take more years to grow long hair? I don't know. Because it's really... it's tricky. You know, like I don't know at all. I don't know if it's a genetic thing, but you know, all I'm saying is that I'm jealous. I wish I had long hair. I fucking love long hair, man. Like, it's a pain in the ass to maintain, but man, a lot of people, all I will say in the most genuine way, all you sexy bastards out there, I'm just gonna speak out of my heart. God bless your beautiful hair. I wish I had a long hair that I can style and make really cool style as a male. So like, yo, thank you so much for the raid. We got raided. Sage, welcome on in. Thank you so much for the beautiful raid. How are you doing, Sage? Welcome on in. The RPG village is invading. Well, thank you for invading this beautiful sanctuary. Welcome on in. How is the great ninja doing today? How are you doing, Sage? Thank you so much for being here. Can we get a beautiful shout out for Sage? Welcome on in, Sage. Welcome on in, Raiders. For those of you who don't know, I'm an RPG variety streamer. I'm basically doing, after a long time, I am doing a just chatting stream just to relax and pretty much vibe together. So yeah, we're just having a nice, awesome conversation about things, about certain topics. Thank you again for the beautiful raid. How was the stream, SH? Did you have fun? What were you playing? I wonder... Of course it seems like an RPG, but I wonder what kind of RPG. Excuse me? When did I get hit with a pipe? What did I do? Oh, you're playing Ark Survival... Remind me again, isn't that the dinosaur survival game where you can tame dinosaurs and you can build stuff and build really complex gear in that game? And oh man, I haven't played that game in a long time. I remember that game is so heavy to run on PCs because it's one of like these ginormous multiplayer game where it's so huge. There's so much to do in that game. It's crazy. It's pretty much like Subnautica. It's huge. It really is, and it's so awesome to explore. It's so nice. I hope you had fun, Sage. Thanks again for the beautiful raid. I am so losing my breath right now because I'm just literally non-stop talking. But I'm just having fun. I'm just speaking in a very open-minded about topics. And we're also going to be discussing about two inspirational content creators, by the way, which is Caseoh. But by the way, for those of you who don't know, Caseoh is a super entertaining content creator, and I'm gonna say more about this legend and another legend that has been in a lot of people's watch list and inspiration for lots of years. A lot of people even grew up with this person, and this person is none other than Jacksepticeye, also known as Sean. He's a very fantastic fucking content creator from Ireland, and he is amazing, and I'm gonna talk about my opinion and about those two. And the reason I want to talk about them because I think they're one of the most inspirational content creators out of many other awesome content creators out there, especially Caseoh. For the last couple of years of me watching Caseoh, like, it's been amazing to see that kind of entertainment and passion and the way he entertains. It's amazing, honestly. And I'm going to speak about that really soon because we need to give these people recognition and we need to admire the insane effort and dedication and passion they're showing to content creators for years. So I think it's going to be a very interesting opinion to talk about and topics. So this is going to be quite fascinating in my opinion. But thank you so much, Sage. Thank you for the lovely raid, guys. Go check out Sage. I need to get back into watching your content, Sage. I have been so busy with work. I feel so embarrassed sometimes to miss people's stream. And work gets in the way, man. I even like miss another awesome streamer that I watched, and his name is like DB Geek. I'm so busy with like work and shit that sometimes I just lurk. In fact, I just lurk most of the time, which I know these people appreciate. but it's so hard to just spend time in people's chat and all. But I do my best because you guys are awesome, and I sincerely love all your content, so keep up the good stuff. You guys are seriously awesome. And besides that, I think we're gonna start talking about the interesting topic I have in mind. So, guys, prepare your ears, because this is gonna be an interesting topic to talk about. Just to give my voice a little rest. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of talking. Alright, so the topic that we're gonna talk about, for anyone listening, let me just turn down the volume a little bit because this is gonna get really interesting, really spicy topic. We're gonna talk about the 2 most awesome streamers, really inspirational streamers that I have been a fan for many years. Especially, I've known Jacksepticeye much longer, and I actually got to know Caseoh not too long ago, because I've been hearing a lot about on Twitter and watching his content, and he makes me laugh all the damn time. And that is like the most gifted thing I've seen. And it's so hard to, like, it's so hard sometimes to find people that you connect with, and these people are like one of the many inspiring people that I just love to watch so much. For example, if I were to give you my opinion, and anyone can disagree and agree with this, I love, for example, what I like about Jacksepticeye is these things. He's funny as hell. He does a lot of charities, and he did so much good in the world, it's insane. He knows a lot about, like, how YouTube changed, like, the content creation community, how things have evolved and not so evolved, and things like that. And also just speaking out of his heart. And also another thing that really made me surprised and so happy that he was so knowledgeable and he talked about was the fact that he found out that he was diagnosed with autism. And a person like myself that is diagnosed with autism, just maybe, of course, just so you guys understand, for those of you who may not know about autism, so autism is a whole spectrum. There's a whole spectrum about it, you know, so there's a spectrum about, like, minor, severe, and so there's different levels of autism. And, for example, there are certain things which contribute in the spectrum. For example, ADHD, just so you guys know, which I didn't know about that until a few years ago, it actually is part of the autism spectrum. So people that struggle with ADHD, that is also in the spectrum, just so you guys know, which I had no idea. I was like, is ADHD its own thing, or does it have something to do with the spectrum? And I was like, no, it's actually part of the spectrum, which kind of was surprising because a lot of people struggle with ADHD, or they're diagnosed with ADHD. So I was like, that is very interesting when you start seeing like ADHD and many other, you know, like other challenges within the spectrum. It's quite fascinating when you start to get to know stuff. And pretty much this legend, Jack, he did the most beautiful thing, which made me so happy as a fellow person who's born with autism. Not a lot, like I have like very small autism, because when I did tests back in the days, for those of you who don't know, I went through a professional. I went to a professional doctor. He gave me these like really challenging puzzles, and basically what they do, they test how smart and fast your brain is. So if you solve a puzzle within a few minutes, or they basically have a clock, they time how long you take to solve something. And with that, they can determine an assessment on whether you have autism or not. There's a lot of complexity about it. So give me guys 1 second. Sorry. So there's a lot of like tests like that to determine the level of autism you have. Even like, for example, just so you guys know, I had like problems learning, which is contributed towards my autism. I struggle to learn. But the thing is, here's the funny act. I struggle to learn by just visually seeing usually I learn much better than listening, because I can listen to people and I can understand, but my brain takes a bit longer to understand things. However, by seeing, I can memorize things very well. And the one thing I noticed, this is a quite of a strength for me, especially being an autistic person, is because, for example, yesterday I went ice skating with my friends. And you guys know how hard ice skating really is. It's not easy to just go to YouTube and Google how to ice skate. It's very difficult. It needs practice. But what got me surprised, and even my friends were surprised when they saw this, and I told them about it, is, don't get me wrong, I fell multiple times and my ass felt like a pancake back in the days, and thank God I didn't land on my back, otherwise that would have ended badly. So I fell the right way, literally on my ass, which surprisingly didn't hurt that much. And pretty much they saw that when I fell so many times, I just started visualizing people to mimic how they were doing it. And somehow my brain mimicked it so well that I was able to get in the middle of the ice skating ring and not actually fall. Of course, I did eventually fall after I tried to push myself to actually move, because it was very tricky, but I managed to get this much far just by observation. And it didn't take me long to practice it that much. That's how smart I was. And you know how tricky this is? Because people it takes years to get that kind of experience, to like ice skate in in ice skating. So it's very tricky. So it's not just about observation, there's also practice. But I managed to learn it, so that was very surprising for me. Not a lot, I mean, I still need practice, but we got somewhere. And that justified that it was such a hard challenge for me to do, that I proved to myself that's like, as painful as it can be, I like pushed myself and said I've reached this far in ice skating. And I was like so happy and proud of myself. I was like, Nathan, look at what you accomplished. A lot of people give up on ice skating because it's too hurtful. It's so difficult. A lot of people get scared because they think they're gonna hurt themselves too much, which is completely valid because it does hurt when you first try out ice skating. I'm just gonna make it clear to all of you. But what I will tell you is that I was like, I knew how to handle the situation, because I was like, I'm not gonna ice skating off the rails. I was literally holding on to the rails, and I was trying to practice as much with the rails to avoid getting hurt and slip. And eventually, when I felt confident, that's where I started pushing myself little by little to start making progress. I fell, obviously, but I made progress. And that is enough for me in my life and in a lot of people's life, that sometimes with a little bit of push, even just from your friends, it can give you the self-esteem and determination to make the small steps in life, and that could be enough to help you move forward on something new. It doesn't have to be something just you love. It can be something new, something that you have no idea whether you will like it or not. But considering how much I pushed myself to make effort on it, especially with how dangerous and hurtful it can be, especially if you're not careful, I handled it so well that I started believing in myself more. It was like a hurtful hobby in a way, but it was a motivational hobby, because then as soon as I started getting hang of it, I started having fun. So I started getting used to it, and that gave me a hell of a motivation, because it's hard, it's painful, and at this, my legs were like literally tired. I couldn't feel my legs, guys. It was insane. But I'm telling you, it was one of the most biggest satisfaction of my life, trying out something hard that could lead to something fun, slowly taking the push I need to do something new and give it a chance. No matter how hard it is, no matter how big it can be, just doing the small steps to see where I go from there. And that's a huge thing, by the way. It's not easy to have that motivation to try something new. It is not. It is extremely hard. a lot of people will just give up immediately. And I would say, don't do that. Like, give it a chance. Worst case scenario, if you don't like it, then you don't do it. But at least you try. Sometimes I always say, some things are worth giving them a chance. Just like how I given a chance to do streaming. I experienced the bad side of things. I experienced the good side of things. I learned from my mistakes that I did in the past, and I started growing up and actually, you know, like learning to mature even the way how I speak, in the way how I behave, in the way how I do content and entertain. Or of course, don't get me wrong that those people out there that make a lot of entertaining swears and vibes like that, that doesn't mean they're, you know, like young people or anything like that. I mean, at this point, we're like grown-ups doing a lot of silly things on the internet just for the sake of entertainment and having fun. I mean, at this point, it's all about the vibes and entertainment. I mean, come on. We need to have some fun vibes, you know? It doesn't matter what age you are. And people will say, oh, but this guy is behaving like a 2-year-old because he's doing all these jokes. And I'd be like, you know what? If that person loves doing that kind of vibes and is making people happy as no one is getting pissed off, why should we judge that person? Let that person be in their own beautiful self. Let that person entertain others and just inspire people and make people happy. That shit is awesome. It sucks to be normal. Normal life is boring. No one wants to be normal. What the fuck is normal? Like, just have fun, be weird, be happy, be proud of yourself. Like, that's the beauty of it. And that's one thing I always say. Like, I'd rather be weird and make people smile than being normal and just bore people to death. So, like, just be yourself and be happy. And be the best version of yourself. That's it. You don't have to change for people, nothing. Just be your best self. And make sure that your actions are making people happy. And make sure to think as much possible before you do something. That's my advice to all of you. And trust me, I take that advice that I'm saying it to all of you. Because I struggled enough in my life with the wrong decisions I made. And now I learned how much I need to be careful. But that's not a bad thing at the same time, because that helped me to become a better person that nowadays people know of. And of course, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm just gonna speak on reality's sake. We're in the internet. People will always find a reason to hate. Whether you have a lot of money, you're popular, you're a VTuber, even just simply being a nice person, people will find a reason to hate. And this is just the internet, guys. Even reality at this point. People will always find a stupid-ass reason to hate, even just being the nicest person. So at this point, I know what I got myself into. I'm like, if I see that there's this BS going on online about me, whatever it can be, because at this point, I simply do not give two Fs about what people have to say. Like, people have to say negatively or, you know, like, of course, something positive is awesome, but I mean, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, you know? You're not going to have everyone liking you. It's not possible, you know? You're always going to have someone who doesn't like you. But at this point, everyone is entitled for their opinion, and I respect it. Some people can be extremely negative about it, though. Like, let's be real. A lot of people can be quite destructive. You know, like how when you ask people for constructive criticism, and you say, what don't you like about this product? And people say, but it sucks. And you're like, okay, but why? They just say, this product is so bad because you made it. And I'm like, but what's so bad about it? And they continue to be persistent. That's the dumbass things that happen. So there are people that are just plain old destructive, and they will do everything to try and make you feel bad just by simply breeding in this world. That's how realistic this life is. I'm not even joking. However, all I have to say is one thing. If you're making one person feel happy, whether it's your family, someone in your family, your entire family, your friends, or even if you're a streamer, your community, anyone in your community, even your moderator, even if, it doesn't matter who it is, if you have that one person that you're making happy, you know that you're doing something right. If you feel like you're happy in the sense that you're being yourself and you're being careful in your decisions and overall just doing your best to be a good person. And of course, keep in mind that doing mistakes doesn't mean you're a bad person. Being a bad person is when you do a mistake and you continuing to justify it and deny it and deny self-improvement. That is a bad person. It's someone who doesn't want to actually become better in the sense of being a good person, not changing themselves, because that's their decision at the end of the day. I'm talking about personal growth in the sense of attitude and behavior towards yourself and towards other people, which is very important. At least that's what I feel. And I'm sure you guys probably agree with that. So that's just my opinion. But again, I just went into something else. So I wanted to talk about Caseoh because I want to take this moment to show my appreciation for the fact that Caseoh has been making a lot of people inspired and happy and just overall laughing with so much positive outcome out of his streams, that I just want to say, first of all, for those people who don't know, Caseoh is an extremely entertaining person with a very incredibly entertaining personality, like a very incredible personality. Now, I noticed most things that happen. In fact, I knew Caseoh when I watched his Fall Guys like videos, and they were like one of the most entertaining ones, even though people literally at that point, most of them, they were like making jokes about his weight, about the fact that being chubby. And mind you, I'm not far away. So just so you know, Mr. Caseoh, if you're watching this video, you and me, we are not far away. But you know what? One thing I will always say, we are a sexy beasts. So no matter who says, I may be a little bit of a chubby bunny right here myself, because I freaking love food like a lot, especially when I'm a chef. Like, be proud of yourself, because man, we are beautiful beasts. And at this point, if you're happy, that's all that matters. Done. End of story. But what I will say is that besides the whole like jokes about his weight, which is technically what I saw when I watched the Fall Guys stream, what I liked about Caseoh and inspired me so much, which is incredibly difficult to do, and he does it so professionally, is he takes jokes in a way and he twists them that makes it look like he's taking it offense, but he's not actually taking it personal. He's doing it for the content's sake. He can handle the kind of vibes that, even though they are completely to the point where it can cause negative vibes towards him, because theoretically some jokes, it can be like towards fat shaming and something like that, he can do a really good job, like not give two shits about what most people have to say and turn those into something entertaining. Even like when there's like memes about him, and even like he doesn't take it personal, he just makes joke out of it and he has fun with it. He still have fun. He entertains people in a very professional way. And I'm like, I like that, you know, just like how I wouldn't take it personal if people made a joke about me being fat. Like, I don't give two fucks about it. Like, I just want to have fun and vibe with people. That's it. In fact, I would just laugh with them because I'm not going to take it personal. It's like, at this point, I wouldn't give two craps, but I will use that opportunity to make something entertaining. If it makes people happy at this point, I'm like, I'm not bothered by it. If I get bothered by it, I'm not going to bother to speak up. And this is what I like about certain people, is that a lot of creators out there, they are not too shy to speak up. And that's a very good thing and a very inspirational thing, because too many people out there are scared to speak up. And it's not a bad thing to speak up. So when you think people are getting over the line and over your skin, when they're being too much about a particular joke, I love it that people actually speak up about it and tell the community, hey guys, even though it's difficult to say that, because imagine you having God knows how many people watching and you don't have control over your chat. Like, that's number one thing you guys need to know. When you're a content creator, you have no control over chat. Sure, you can ban people, you can time out people, you can set rules, but you have no control of how people behave. End of story. You have no control. So just because you say people, hey, let's dial it down a bit, people will just, some people, if they truly respect you, they will listen. Other people just wouldn't give two shits. But that's when boundaries come in, and that's when you start enforcing your boundaries, right? So that's when boundaries come and take place. But what I like about him so much is he makes any game that he plays, even a horror game that I'm literally so scared to play it most times. I don't know how the fuck I played Poppy's Playtime, which was psychologically the scariest and best game I played, which was very awesome, by the way. Like, shout out to the lovely company that made it. My god, I forgot their name. I'm so sorry. But I will link, you know what? I will link them in the description below. And like, he makes any games that he plays, any games, very entertaining. Any games whatsoever. It can be Minecraft, it can be Subnautica, it can be Roblox, it can be Mob Entertainment. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for telling me. Brain just got confused. Shout out to Mob Entertainment for the amazing Poppy Playtime project that they're doing, which I'm very excited, by the way. And he makes any games entertaining, like literally any games. He can be playing Minecraft, Roblox, whatever the hell he plays, he just makes it very fun. And that's not easy. Like, he makes every game he plays seem so fun. Even a simulation game. And sometimes I'm not a big fan of certain simulation games. The only simulation game I played was PC Building Simulator, because I'm an IT person and I love to learn about computers and I love to learn about technology. And he made something like a supermarket simulator seem so fun. Just by his vibes alone, just by the way he talks about the game and stuff like that. It is truly fascinating to see people inspire others to show and express their love towards any game they're playing, no matter what it is. It can be Barbie at this point, but they just love the game and does it so well in expression. It is truly amazing. And we can't also forget the fact that Caseoh really loves his community. Like, he really respects them, despite all the entertainment and jokes during there, and people might get confused on what Caseoh actually feels. But the fact that he spends time to talk with his community, to joke with his community, to also be grateful when people give him subs, which a lot of people don't do, which is a pity, and stuff like that. And also the fact that he helps content creators as well. Like, it's truly amazing. See, like, he's a very awesome, inspirational person. In fact, I was so happy when he won the Streamer Awards, and there was this whole drama about a VTuber versus him. And I'm like, why are people always trying to find a way to make drama out of anything? Like, why can't just people just be happy for either or? Either or. It doesn't matter if it's a VTuber or, you know, I was just so happy. Like, I'm a VTuber. Sure, I love seeing VTubers grow and actually, you know, like, reaching achievements, but I also like the fact that this person who's not a VTuber, who does so much as well, deserves the spotlight as well, because he's inspiring people. Like, who cares if he's not a VTuber? He deserves it as well, just like anyone else, because he's an awesome content creator. It doesn't mean the VTuber doesn't deserve it, but that's just, you know, that's part of the competition. That's part of the judging. You know, it's out of our control, but it doesn't mean just because the other person didn't win an award, it makes them any less of a person. Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, how can you dictate someone's success and popularity based on awards? I don't get that. Like, an award is just an award. It's an in-moment thing. And in fact, Caseoh said it himself, and I agree with it. And it's a momentary thing. So you win an award, and I can promise you in 2 years' time, people might forget it. So that award is like a temporary thing that serves, hey, I won this award during this time. People will probably forget by then. So, like, what's good is award gonna do in a long term? And even if so, we always need to carry the mindset that having an award, like, doesn't mean that anyone else is bad. All those people out there in companies that don't win awards, they're still fantastic and they still deserve the recognition for their awesome work. Okay, just like this whole debate, which I know my chat is probably gonna open their eyes to hear this. I know, and I've heard this many times in Twitter. There was this whole debate about the Game Awards for the fact that the Xenoblade franchise was supposed to win Best Soundtrack. Because, let's be real, the soundtrack was fire. There's no question about it. But there were other games in parallel with it. In my opinion, comparing a game, which is an RPG, to something else, you know, sometimes it can be unfair. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know, like, it's tricky to say, but I'm like, dude, just because it didn't win, like, best soundtrack, it doesn't mean its soundtrack is shit. Although I will say, sometimes I will disagree with who wins, but that's just my opinion. Like, for example, if you tell me, like, you put fucking Genshin Impact and Xenoblade together and you say Genshin Impact wins, I will say, like, that is just rigged. But again, it doesn't mean it is. That's just my opinion. You know, that's just an opinion. I'm a Xenoblade fan, even though I haven't played it, but I listen to the music. I know it's the kind of game that I will like. I've seen a little bit of gameplay. I know I will like that shit. So, and I played Genshin Impact, and I got bored of it very easily, but that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean it doesn't deserve it. So you see where I'm going with this? Like, we're entitled for opinions, and at the end of the day, an award is based on votes. Now, whether the votes are rigged, I don't know. I'm not going to speak about it because I don't know. I'm just being honest here. But I hope I'm making my point clear. So, you know, like, what I'm trying to say is everyone is entitled for their opinion, and we all should respect each other's opinion. Just because I say Genshin Impact doesn't deserve to win soundtrack, it doesn't mean it shouldn't. Just because I am more fan of Xenoblade. You know what I mean? So always keep that in mind. Now, another awesome content creator I wanted to talk about is a very lovely person that has been inspiring people for lots of years, and people grew up watching this content creator a lot, including myself, because I supported this legend. I supported his tank mess like myself, and he is like an absolutely really awesome Irish legend. And I literally bought a t-shirt from Tankmas just to wear it on Christmas and like literally be proud of myself and say, hey, I'm one of those people that participated in the Tankmas charity, because I just loved this beautiful charity so much for what it was fundraising for, that I just wanted to support this charity so much. And I literally donated towards Tankmas when Sean, also known as Jacksepticeye, was hosting this really awesome event. And I remember there was Jack Black. There was a lot of awesome people out there. There was even his like YouTube content creator friends. And they were making these really cool events during that time of Tankmas. And they raised a shit ton of money, guys, for charity. It's insane. It's such a beautiful thing. Like, that's what really makes me so happy. It's seeing these things. Not only he was making something really entertaining and fun, with just not only with the people that were on that spot with him, but also the audience watching. So he made something entertaining and something so memorable that people will always admire for his work, for the good things he does and literally did in the past too, which is amazing. And not only that, he speaks out of genuinity, and I love how he's so straight about certain things, which makes it really funny. Like I feel like he's the kind of person who's not shy to just say what he has to say in his mind. I can probably feel that. And the fact that also he got diagnosed with autism, it kind of made me appreciate him much more, because as a person who's also diagnosed in that spectrum, I'm just so happy for him that as a person being in that spectrum, and the success and work that he did for all these years, it's insane how much good he did. I was like, for a person that may have the challenges in his life, being an autistic person, look at all the good he did. It's insane and amazing, and it's inspirational. And that's what I like about this kind of stuff, is that people out there, doesn't matter what they have, they prove to people, and especially themselves, that they are so capable. They inspire others to do the right thing and do such good events, not just for the sake of making people happy, but also to make the world a better place. And that to me is like the most beautiful thing in the world, because I love raising money for charities, and I love making the world a better place, because it's something beautiful and something that needs to happen, especially with how tough life can be for a lot of people. And trust me, being in those situations is rough. So I can understand those situations. Just like how much I understood when I was raising money for, what's the charity called? I raised money for quite a number of charities. Like Make-A-Wish Foundation, we're raising... By the way, we're raising money for Make-A-Wish Foundation right now, so if anyone wants to donate !charity in the chat, so feel free to do so. And I raised a lot of money for, like... was it Wish Together? I believe. It was another charity. National Children's Alliance, I believe it was called. There was one called Cause, which is a charity for people diagnosed with autism. I believe that's what it's called, because, oh my goodness, I'm so terrible at names. But there was definitely a charity for sure that it's basically specialized on raising money for people with autism. And there are people like that needed wheelchairs, they needed toys, they needed like these awesome gadgets like to help them, you know, like have a much happier and better future. And this charity focused on doing that, on providing these tools, even toys, food, like anything that can potentially help them. This charity did. And the money we raised over thousands of dollars, which I was super beyond happy to have reached such an insane goal, that I was so proud of myself and literally the community, that no matter the size, we did so much good in that short period of time. Of course, it took a while before we raised the money, but that doesn't matter, because eventually we did it. It didn't matter if it took fucking 4 months, 5 months, 2 years to raise that money. It doesn't matter. We eventually reached that money. Of course, I would have loved if we reached it sooner, but I'm not going to pressure people, because charity is an optional thing, and I'm not going to force people to donate, obviously. But I was still happy that we got somewhere eventually. And that's the most important thing, and that's something that people need to consider, is that just because you take 4 years, 8 years, 6 years, 12 years to reach partner or whatever, it doesn't mean that you're a bad content creator. It doesn't mean that. It means that the right people haven't found you yet. It means that hopefully sooner or later you will have opportunities that you can be in, which will help you. For example, I'm trying to have more opportunities being in podcasts, just for the sake to have these nice conversations like this, because I love to chat. The only problem is that my time schedule is a little bit strict, so it's a bit tricky. But the fact is, I love having these really cool conversations, because I get to be open about things. And that's something I love doing. So, like, I love to be open about certain things and just express my experience and the way I see things in a specific based topic, you know? So it's quite fascinating at the same time to see how people think, how people see things. It's a beautiful way of learning and also getting to know somebody. And that's the beauty about it, you know? Also, Smasa and Bowser, welcome on in over on chat. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Bowser, I hope you're doing well. We're doing just chatting. We're talking about Jack Caseoh like really awesome inspirational content creators, and we're gonna talk about 2025 plans, what I have in plans for my content. So, not to get out of topic, Jack is a really fascinating Irish legend that literally a lot of people grew up with. He's so awesome, and words cannot express the amount of good and inspiration he does on a daily basis. I fucking love that legend. Like, I may be this like petite gamer with a really small community, you know, which I'm saying it as like a general thing. In my opinion, we may be small because in my way of knowing small, that's just a preference thing. But you guys are not small at all, because you guys are as big as my heart. In fact, bigger, because you guys make me so happy that you guys, it may seem like, oh, there's only a few people, but trust me, you guys are special to me. And that's why I see it as a subjective thing, because what can be small for other people, it may not be small for me. For me, you guys are a big fucking deal. So whatever people say it's small because they have millions or God knows how many views they have, guys, the most important thing is be appreciative with what you have. And no size will determine that. The people within the community is what makes it strong. I rather have 10 people, which are the most awesome people, to have a conversation, to to spread this positive influence and knowledge, rather than have lots of people and most of the time they're taking advantage of you. And of course, when it's out of your control, there's nothing you can do. But most of the time when I have control over things, I would say if I can shape the way my space is to build a specific community that I have in mind, it would definitely be a community that specializes in making people happy, keeping the space entertained, and overall just having fun and creating fantastic memories for people to watch. And remember, that's it. Literally. Like, I don't care about the money at all. Like, making money is nice, but guys, this is not why I do streaming. Trust me, I don't do streaming because of money. Because if that's what the case, I would have quit streaming a long time ago. Because at this point, you know, you guys see I don't get a lot of subs or anything like that, and I don't care. I don't care if I don't get a lot of subs. I'm not gonna beg people. You know, like, I appreciate whatever I get, and I'm just very grateful. So, like, I don't do things for the sake of money. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna be passionate about it. Of course, I wouldn't be lying if I said I don't need money, because we all need money to live and buy things and upgrade. I mean, I have a fucking PC, I have to upgrade the parts, which is gonna be expensive. But I try to make the best decisions to not, of course, not beg people, and at the same time do it because I like doing it. Obviously, I have a job. I have a job that I make money. I don't consider Twitch as a job. And that's okay, because some people consider Twitch as a job, and that's fine. You know, everyone has their own thing. But personally, I just find it that Twitch for me is a hobby. And, you know, I'm not going to depend on people to give me money, because first of all, earning donations is an optional thing. No one is obliged to give you fucking anything, not even 2 cents or a fucking shoe. So let alone making money on stream, unless you're one of those like huge content creators that gets God knows how much views every fucking day, and you'll have such high chances of people donating. And even if so, I would not depend on it. That's why at this point I have a job to sustain my life. But it doesn't mean I don't wish to make a full-time opportunity, but then I don't want to do it as a job, because I do it as a hobby. I do it because I love doing it. But I put as much effort into it because I like doing it. It's the same thing with cosplay. For those of you who don't know, not too long ago, I made my own cosplay. I made part of it myself. I won an award. And literally, I know like I said, like, awards don't mean, because people forget about my awards, and that's okay. But every time I look at that award, I think to myself and say, Look at what you did, Nathan. You were so courageous with the work and passion you put towards something you enjoyed. You were lucky enough to even win an award. That's how amazing you are. Like, you were lucky enough to win even something because you were lucky enough to get that opportunity. And that gave me a hell of a courage to me because it showed me that I can make something for the sake of love doing it. And when I made my first cosplay, I started getting into more passionate about cosplay. In fact, I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but my next cosplay is going to be DC based, and it's going to be from a villain from a DC, from the DC universe, not Marvel, DC. So I will lead you guys to think what kind of... There's a lot of villains in the DC universe, so I will let you all think what it can be. I'm not going to say anything, but that's all I can give you as a hint. It's a villain in the DC universe. That's it. I'm not going to say no more, so you can guess all you want. I'm not going to answer. It's a surprise, so you guys will know. But all I was saying, this guy is going to be fantastic. To be fair, I actually gave you a tip, but whatever. You guys will not guess it at this point. But anyway... You can guess all you want, but yeah, that's all I will say. A DC villain, and he's a guy. That's it. Nothing else. No more. Okay? So, besides that, yeah, please go follow Jack because I just got off board again. Oh, God, it's so tricky to maintain conversations on a topic. I just love to talk about a lot of things. And, like, please go follow Jack, guys. He's a very fantastic person. He's a very inspirational person. Like, seriously, man, he is such a beam of light that with his content, not only he inspires people, but he just makes so many people happy. And trust me, man, if I ever get the chance to talk to Jack and Caseoh, and I actually get a response from them, if I ever get lucky, which I'm not expecting it, but if I ever get lucky to get a response from them stating their gratitude towards me for the fact that I simply love everything they do, their work, their passion, their inspiration they they spread on people, like, it would make me the happiest person ever. Because I know how many people they have. I know they're big content creators, and it's difficult for them to connect. They try their best, and I know they do, because, you know, you can tell at this point, you know, the people that put the effort in, all of that, and, you know, they love their community, so there's no question about it. But if I ever get that opportunity, that would be so awesome. I mean, that's pretty much a lot of people's dreams at this point, so... But you never know. That's why I always say try. You know, like, don't be nervous to speak up and say, at this point, you know, I have nothing negative to say about these people because I'm really, like, touched by their awesome way of doing content and stuff like that. So, seriously, I have nothing to say bad about these people. They're fantastic and they're inspirational. They're like idols to me, man. Like, seriously, they're just really awesome people. That's all I have to say. Guys, if you haven't watched Caseoh and Jack, which are super awesome, these like popular streamers over there on the on YouTube and much more, please go follow them. They're amazing. Seriously, they're such awesome people. Pokey Joker, welcome on in. How are you doing? I'm doing awesome. Thank you for being here. How are you doing, Pokey? How's your day? Welcome on in. Thank you for being here. So, Jokey, welcome on in. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well, Jokey. Can we get a shout out for Jokey, please? Excuse me, my throat is going to explode. I just love talking. See what I did? It's not difficult to have a conversation with me, Chad. I am just a talkative bozo. That's what I am. So I will just talk, man. At this point, I give people headaches with me just talking, but I just love to talk, man. Seriously, I do. Also, give me 1 second. I'm gonna get some water. Thank you, Bowser, for the hydration. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. So I hydrated for you, Bowser, so thank you for the hydration. Pokey, thank you so much for coming from Twitter. I really appreciate that. I think you might be the one person in a long time since someone actually mentioned they came from Twitter who's actually so far being a nice person. I love that. Because usually, you know, like, I'm not saying on Twitter you don't end up meeting good people, but trust me, man, in the past few days, Twitter has been infested with drama, a lot of bullshit happening on Twitter, so it's not saying it's impossible to meet good people on Twitter, but lately there's been so much negativity going on. It's embarrassing and it's ridiculous, and it pains me to even go to Twitter sometimes, and man, Twitter just went to shit, honestly. I'm just completely being honest with you. The fact, you guys know what I'm talking about the features and that stuff, so you understand what I mean. But yeah, Twitter sometimes, let's just say, it can get a bit dramatic. So, yeah, that's Twitter for you. So, interesting, isn't it? But it's nice, you know, that's what makes me happy. It's so nice to get an opportunity to meet someone from anywhere, you know, like, and that makes me so happy. It's so nice to meet someone. So I welcome you in, Pokey Joker, with open arms and lots of energy. You do your best to please. That is very awesome of you, and I love that. Seriously, just thank you for being here and just overall being a nice person, so I appreciate that. I just do my best to ignore it and just have fun. And that's good. Trust me, that's the best thing you can do. It is not a good idea to get involved in drama. It's just not worth it. It's just going to create a lot of trouble and unnecessary fighting. You know, like, it's always best to sometimes not get involved in certain things, you know, because it can fuel the flames even more, and it can create more controversies and problems. In fact, that's why I try to be careful not to get involved in dramas. Even though sometimes it's not a bad idea to speak up, but sometimes you gotta be careful. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a bad idea to speak up, but you have to be very careful about it, because, man, Twitter can eat your ass. That's the problem. Twitter, if you're not careful how you word things, it will eat you alive from top to bottom. That's how careful you have to be. And that's just Twitter. I'm talking like any social media platforms, you have to be careful. But Twitter, man, you have to be very careful. So, yeah, very careful in these things, yeah? It's always, exactly, that's true. It is usually, for the most part, like, drama's not good. There are some things which it is a good idea to speak up, but for the most times, agreed. It is a waste of time and energy and mental health, so not a good idea to be in dramas at all. In fact, I stay away from them. Because, man, you don't want to waste your time and energy with that kind of BS. So, I agree. Also, Jokey, thank you so much for lurking. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Jokey. I've only been streaming around 2 months, and I definitely seen a fair amount of negativity, so I just try to ignore it. And that's a really awesome thing you're doing, Pokey, because it is not as easy as you think. It is really difficult. And one thing I always been noticing a lot happening on Twitter, and this is coming from even from the VTubing community. This is especially coming from the VTubing community, because I just want to talk about, you know what, this will be the perfect opportunity to talk about the VTubing community and the industry of VTubing. So let's have this conversation right now about VTubing. So in my own personal opinion, from all these years of being a VTuber, excuse me. So for those of you who don't know, I've been a VTuber for 4 years. My god, my nose. God damn, nose, stop it. I'm trying to speak. Actually, give me guys 1 second. I'm gonna get a tissue, because I'm still have this blocked nose and shit. Also, stop. No, don't eat pipes. I don't sneeze. I can't just get. You know what, Praga? I'm done. I'm done. That's it. I just ask for a tissue. I get hit with pipes. Excuse you. I didn't know you like to wipe your boogers with pipes, Froggo. Like the heck. Excuse me. See, and then Mrs. Maxine starts getting into this whole interesting entertainment. You see what you started? You see what you did, sir? Hope you're proud of yourself. Hope you're proud of yourself, sir. No problem, Pokey Joker. You have a good day at the gym and take care. Also, Maxine, how dare you? Bowser, don't get into this. Stop hitting me with pipes. I need to get a tissue. I'll be right back. You bunch of little trolls. All right. I sneezed. Well, not really sneezed, but you know, you don't want to know. You don't want to know, okay? I'm not a disgusting piggy, so I'm not gonna say what I do. What does that mean? I'm a miss and I'm not married? What do you mean? I'm just being polite. Wait, what? Miss? Wait, Froggo. You're a Miss Froggo now? Excuse me. Guys, can we get some hashtag Miss Froggo in the chat? God, I can't even word. Yo, Froggo, you didn't tell me you became a princess. That's adorable. That's so adorable. Look at you having a little princess tiara with your butlers and all. That's cute. That's cute, Froggo. Froggo, I expect you to have like all these butlers from like, well, kind of like Bruce Wayne-ish, but you know, kind of like the royalty-ish you have. No, Maxine started talking about Miss, and then you started saying that I was talking about the first pipe you threw. I don't know, you guys are confusing me. What are you guys talking about? I'm confused, you're confused, everyone's confused. Oh my goodness. Do I look like I know what's going on? Anyways, whatever, back to topic. So, also, stop hitting me in the face. God. Now, I was saying about VTubing, right? We were talking about VTubing. You don't need a butler. What you need is to stop encouraging people to troll my ass. That's what you need to do. Because every time Froggo does something, you're like either a slave or like a princess or something. Because every time Froggo does something, it's like he has a big red button pressing you with your name on it, and you end up activating like a robot and start executing specific commands. It's like you're trying to mimic him. God damn. Just YOLOing. Also, can we get some mod love as well? Yes, please. Can we get some mod love in the chat? Give him the mod love. Even though they're trolling the shit out of me, give them the mod love. They deserve it. Anyhow, guys, spend the hearts in the chat for the mods. So, I was saying, regarding VTubers. So for those of you who don't know, I have been streaming for 4 years. And I have been a VTuber for 4 years. And I started, my VTubing experience grew very interestingly throughout the years. I remember I was a PNG VTuber, for those of you who don't know. I remember I started streaming with no VTuber whatsoever because I had no idea what the hell VTubing is. And I struggled to communicate, guys. Like, I struggled a lot. I was so fast and confused with the way I speak that I couldn't make up the right words to make proper sentences, have a nice proper communication. I was terrible. But I mean, we all been there. We all had our experiences in the past where we felt like we were these professional people talking about stuff, and then we realized that we were just talking nonsense for the sake of content creation. It was like the funny nostalgia vibes-ish that when you were like a young person making content, you know what I mean? So, long story short, when I started off streaming, I didn't have a VTuber. I started with no VTubing whatsoever because I had no idea what the hell VTubing is. Just so you guys know. So I had no clue about VTubing. just to make it clear. And basically, I upgraded to become a VTuber. And from a VTuber, I was a PNG VTuber, meaning that basically PNG VTuber is a 2 animated image, like one image and then second or pretty much 2 animated image. And every time you talk, it animates, it moves in one static animation. That's PNG tubing. Basically, you grab 2 images, and when you speak, it activates the second one every time you speak. That's basically PNG tuber, pretty much. And then I remember back in the days, I had a very well, when I got my PC, this PC that I still use for many years, I basically started using VC Face for the first time because I started getting some information about VTubing and I started getting into it much more. And I was like, since I got a powerful PC, I was like, what can I do to evolve my content? And that's when the idea of having a 3D VTuber came into place. And pretty much I found this free-to-use commercial use VTuber on, I believe, V-Road Hub, I believe it was called, because it's been a long time since I've been there. And they had these free assets to use, which you had to be careful that they were tagged with commercial license, meaning you can actually use them to make money, to generate income with that model. And this was like the only cool VTuber model which was free, which had the commercial license in it. And it was so nice, this VTuber model that was free, that I went with this VTuber for pretty much 1 year or so. And after I saw different VTubers on Twitch and Twitter, I started getting inspired the fact that you can create your own. And even though it was expensive, I started researching people that I can commission. People that maybe they won't charge as much. And I met this person that makes 3D commissions. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't super expensive. And I had this first ever custom-made 3D 3D model. That is basically what you're seeing right here. So after all that time, an awesome person that I commissioned, and by the way, you can see them in the panels below. I have the appreciation tab and the links to their names, so you can click on them and you can view who made what, so you guys can know who worked on what. Literally, she made my first ever VTuber model, and this is the model that you see today, which is this cutie pie referenced from Kingdom Hearts. And of course, for those of you who don't know, what's going to happen in 2025 is I'm going to have a new VTuber, which I'm going to use a new application to run it from. A much more complex application that probably is going to be much more heavy intensive, which I'm actually kind of scared because my computer doesn't like that. But basically, or maybe it could be lightweight, I'm not sure, because it's meant for 2D, not 3D, so there should be less animation. And I'm going to get another VTuber model, which this time is going to be 2D. So it's going to be much more visualized detail, because 2D usually has a better art style to 3D. I guess it depends. It depends on the artist and all. And I saw these really cool looking 2D models, and I was like, you know what? We're going to go with 2D and see how it works. And pretty much, I love the 2D model so much that I was like, you know what? We're going with this. And basically, I have a 2D model in the making, and I'm just really excited to see how it's going to be finished. It's going to be awesome. So I'm very excited for the 2D model that I have to show you guys in the future. He is super cute, by the way. I'm telling you guys, he's insanely adorable. Like, more adorable than this VTuber, and he's going to be much more expressive with his emotions, with his face. It's gonna be fucking cute, you guys. Like, I'm telling you, it's still referenced from Kingdom Hearts, but the meaning and the lore behind this character is gonna be detailed as hell, and it's gonna be beautiful. So trust me, I thought of this very carefully when I had this idea, and it's gonna be awesome. So anyone out there that is excited for the new upgrade that I'm gonna have, well, new model that I'm gonna test out anyway, is gonna be for next year a 2D model for the first time. I don't have a 2D model. This is the only 3D model I have, and pretty much we are going to see a 2D model in action for the first time. And I think it wouldn't be a bad idea because 2D models also can be quite more expressive. So I'm excited to give a 2D model a chance. And also a new software. So a new application will allow me to put more features or implementations that this application has. This application also, what I like about it is the fact that you can make channel points to impact your VTuber model. So for those of you who don't know, which I'm sure you guys are excited, there will be new channel points in the future. And these will specifically be, at least if until I understand if they exist and also if I can get them to work, these will be VTubing customizable channel points, which means when you click a channel point, you can basically affect my VTuber model directly. So technically what you can do, I can have two models switch between each other. So for example, I can commission an artist to do an ugly version of my VTuber, and what happens is you click this channel point and it switches my VTuber to another VTuber automatically, just like that, just like magic. Or basically you can basically click a channel point and it can resize my VTuber model and make it big or small or whatever. You know, like there's like these cool interactions which are built into this application, and I can turn them into channel point interactions. So it's quite fascinating. Also, can we get some hearts in the chat for mods? So there's these really interesting application, like features built into this application, which I'm very intrigued to give it a try once my VTuber model is done. It's gonna be quite fascinating, you guys. Like, I've never had a 2D model, so this will be interesting. And just to basically further discuss about the the 2025 plan that I have in mind is actually, did we talk much about VTubing? I don't think we talked a lot. Oh yeah, I wanted to say something else about VTubing because I was going to forget. So for those of you who don't know, what I meant to say is, in the VTubing world, I noticed on Twitter especially, there were a lot of people that were finding it hard to grow in the VTubing world. Now, in comparison to how VTubing was back in the days compared to now, the VTubing industry has grown tremendously. And I mean tremendously. Back in the days, people didn't know what the hell VTubing is. Now it's getting much more recognition than ever, especially when there are big inspirational creators out there making big names for the VTubing community. One of them is none other than the queen, Iron Mouse, which is a phenomenal VTuber that I got to know a few months ago, and she is inspirational as hell. She is such an awesome person with a very cute personality, cute, like, VTuber, so adorable. Like, seriously, she is so amazing that she jokes with chat. She is so open about her stuff. Like, she is so genuine when she talks about when she's not feeling well, and when she's like open, like she has those moments where she's open with chat. Well, to be fair, she's very open with chat, which is pretty awesome. And like, she's really amazing. She plays a lot of games, and seriously, man, like, she's very inspirational. She did also a version, she literally worked with a team to make a very beautiful song and entertainment on stage, which is amazing. I never knew there was such a technology which is available for VTubers. I had no idea that is possible. It's insane. It just sparked so much ideas and inspiration that if I had the money and ideas and team in the future, and I would really like to get into something like this, to give it a chance, I would. Because that is an awesome opportunity, and man, such an amazing work. Like she did with the team and everyone else. Like, seriously, she is inspirational. So, like, Iron Mouse is one of the many inspirational VTubers out there, like really huge VTubers that are extremely popular. And there are so many VTubers making really good names in the VTubing community. And although I will have to say that as a VTuber being in the VTubing community, I still find it, and I'm sure a lot of people do, that is really difficult, in fact, much more challenging to grow on social media platforms being a VTuber than having a face cam. And I think it's because there is still this whole Sigma thing towards VTubers. I don't even understand what the hell Sigma means, nor I give two fucks. All I know is there was a lot of negativity going on towards VTubers because a lot of people think that all VTubers are the same or some stupid shit like that. And there was a lot of hate going towards the VTubing community by a lot of people on Twitter. And I don't know what this Sigma is, nor do I care, but all I know, there's been a lot of stupid stuff going on. And pretty much, it's been a rough time for a lot of VTubers, especially those VTubers that started off. I noticed a lot of people were having a hard time growing on any social media platform because, you know, it's hard to connect with people at this point, especially when there's this whole rumors going on the internet. It just scares people off and that shit, you know? So it makes things very difficult, even for us to just communicate, especially when there's that rumors spreading all that negative false BS to manipulate people into thinking that VTubers are this or VTubers are that or VTubers are this. And I'm like, no, like, give VTubers a chance, watch their content, vibe with them. Just because we have an energetic personality, or at least majority of us do, and we like to be weird and stuff like, it doesn't mean that everyone is the same. We all have our different personalities. We all are different VTubers. Just give the VTuber a chance. Just because people are behind a camera and have this very cute, adorable avatar, it doesn't mean that they don't want to show their faces. Maybe some people are just don't feel comfortable, or maybe some people would like to show their faces when it's the right time. Just like the same thing that I said many years ago. And I did promise you guys that if I reach partner on YouTube or Twitch, I will do a show. I will showcase my face. I will. And that is a promise that I will keep to the very end. So anyone out there that is curious, I will show my face when I reach YouTube partner or Twitch. And I'm doing it not because I just promised. It's because I want to show all of you in my own comfortability that after all these years of pushing myself to grow, even if there is this whole challenge about the fact that being a VTuber is more difficult to grow on Twitch, even if that is true or not, I'm like, I don't care. Being a VTuber is something I'm passionate. Even if it makes things more challenging, if that's the real truth, that being a VTuber does make things a bit more tricky, I don't care. In fact, on the contrary, if being a VTuber makes it more difficult to reach partner, I will feel more proud. Because when I will hit partner eventually, if I keep pushing the effort and keep doing what I love doing, I will feel more proud of myself. So that's what I've been saying. Like, I will continue to be a VTuber till the very end. And it doesn't mean just because I'll reach partner, I'll stop being a VTuber. No, far from it. I will show my face because I feel comfortable doing it, but it doesn't mean I will stop being a VTuber. In fact, I will continue to grow even further being a VTuber to reach more awesome heights and inspire even the VTubing community at this point. So absolutely, I will continue to push myself to be better and better. So it ain't stopping there, but I will give you guys a little bit of taste because I know a lot of people have been curious. So in my own comfortability, I will do that eventually when we hit partner. But at the moment, I just want to continue being a VTuber and reach like my dreams, like just being a VTuber. I don't care if it's more difficult. I will keep on putting all the effort I can. I've been doing this for 4 freaking years. I am not giving up anytime soon because I have you guys to thank for that. I have lots of people who love my stuff. I still have people who literally joined today. I literally did a just chatting, and this is not my normal stream, and still some people came to say hello. Look at that, it's awesome. Usually I don't get many people whatsoever, I think, usually in like just chatting, because I know some people don't like just chatting, which is fine. But the fact that today I noticed there are a lot of people that said hello, and there are people that lurked, and even new people came in, which I was very surprised. It made me even more happier because I was like, even though this is just chatting, we ended up having a conversation that sparked new people's interest, and at the same time, people stayed and they listened to you, and people are lurking and supporting you. Like that is awesome shit. So, like, for me, the fact that I have people watching me for just being myself without having to worry what to stream or what to do, that's like the best fucking thing you can do. Without worries, without nothing. And it's not easy getting out of your comfort zone. Just so you guys know, it's not easy switching up from gaming to just chatting, because I was fearing that just chatting would be boring. You know, me yapping. Who the hell wants to listen to me just being a bozo and talk? Like, who would sit down and just listen to me just yap all the time, you know? But I was surprised that people came, so it made me even more inspired that I might do more just chattings in the future. And I had so much fun being open about things and talking in a positive sense, you know, like I'm bringing topics up that I want to talk about, topics that I feel like that are positive, topics that I feel like you guys would like to listen and have an opinion on. So it's like top shit. And I really, really, really am having fun. Seriously, just talking, literally just vibing, you guys trolling me with channel points, which is funny. And overall, just having fun together. So I'm like, this is like the best freaking thing ever. Even just talking to each other is fun, let alone playing games together. Like, playing games is a lot of fun, but even just chatting with each other is a lot of fun. So that says a lot about your connection with your community. If your community are simply showing up because you're talking, that shows that these people seriously support you for just being you and for loving you. So that's a really awesome freaking thing, if you ask me. So, holy shit, it is amazing. Also, that did not happen. What happened there? Did something not get thrown in my face? I saw somebody redeem something. It did not happen. What happened there? Uh-oh. What happened there? Well, that just happened somehow. Wait, give me a moment. Let me see something. Oh, for fuck's sake. It keeps disconnecting Twitch. I don't know why. It does that sometimes. It's so annoying. Why does it disconnect? I don't get it. The application just disconnects, and I'm like, I knew that was the case. Because it did it again last time. But hold on. There you go. It's connected. Okay. Let me just redeem it for you so you don't have to waste your channel points. Hold on. There you go. Ah! There you go. I just hurt myself for you. You're welcome. Oh my goodness. I hate it when that application does that. It's so weird. So, basically, I don't know what else I was gonna say. I think that's pretty much it. And yeah, like, if being a VTuber can be quite challenging, almost to the point where it's insanely challenging, I don't care. I like doing it. I like being a VTuber. Nothing's gonna stop me. I don't care if it takes me 10 years to reach partner. I don't care if it takes me fucking 20 years to reach partner on YouTube and Twitch. I will just keep going with whatever time I have, and I will do my best to keep being myself, improve in any way possible, and just have a fun conversation with people. That's it. That's it. Just be yourself, be happy, and make others happy. That's all you have to be. You don't have to change for people. Just be yourself and be happy. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Of course, if I make mistakes, I'll always be open to find a solution and make them better and all that. Because, again, nobody's perfect. But, you know, I just do my best to be the best person possible. That's it. That's all I try to be. You know, I'm not going to make everyone happy. I'm not going to make everyone entertained, obviously. But my goal is to make as many people happy as possible. And that's it. As long as I make many people happy, that's all I care. If I know you guys are happy and I'm making as many people happy as possible, that's all I care. Honestly, I just want to see people happy. That's it. Like, that is the whole point of me doing streaming. Making you guys happy and having fun playing games. Because that's also the point of streaming. Having fun playing games, having fun having conversations with you guys, and also making content. So obviously, you know, all the stuff. It's important. So, you know, that's all. That's the whole purpose of streaming. To make people happy and have fun. Hello? Not everything has to be money. Not everything has to be about money, you know. Just be happy. Be yourself. And just have fun. Is it really that difficult to turn things into fun? Don't look at it from a money perspective. Just look at it from a gamer's perspective. For the fun sake of it. That's it. So, yeah. Now, I want to talk about the 2025 goals that I have in mind. So, for those of you who don't know, one of my goals, like I mentioned, is I will have a 2D model for the first time, which is going to be the cutest model I ever had. Another thing I would like to reach in 2025, I would like to reach potentially maybe 500, 600 subscribers on YouTube if it's possible, slowly, yeah. And just keep putting the effort as much possible into YouTube. And at the same time, upgrade my PC. I'm going to upgrade my PC to something more powerful. I'm basically waiting for the 5000 series RTX because according to rumors and speculation, now this is just speculation, they're suspecting that in around mid of next year, Nvidia, they might release another series of RTX cards. And according to the same card that I have in mind, except with better technologies, I was basically thinking that if the price cap will be the same or very close, I might as well just wait for a few more months and then buy the 5000 series RTX card. So that way it's kind of like future-proofed-ish as much possible. Because why buy it now when I can still play games with no problems and no issues? Like, not all the games. Like, some games I can run perfectly. Like Mario Kart, we don't have problems. Nintendo Switch games, we can still play Nintendo Switch games and have fun. We have fucking Pokemon Unite. We can play Pokemon Unite for free on the Switch. It's free. And you don't need an online membership. It's free. The only downside is you need a Nintendo Switch. That's it. It may not be crossplay, but still, it's a game that we can play. Plus, there are also free multiplayer games which are cross-played on PC. Minecraft is one of them. We can literally stream Minecraft and have fun. Minecraft is not a heavy, intensive game. Like, well, to be fair, they did push a lot of updates, but you can modify that. So, it shouldn't be a problem on my PC. So, Fortnite. We can play Fortnite. So we have games, so it's not really a big issue. But I do like to play other games, like Marvel Rivals. So I would like to play the crap out of that game with you guys, because I'm addicted to it. So definitely I would like to upgrade my PC to some point to be able to run certain multiplayer games. Now, the funny thing is I will need to troubleshoot and research about that, so that will take me some time to get the proper information about what to buy. But that's okay, I will do my research properly. Another goal is I would like to basically organize a charity with a team of mine. We basically developed an unofficial stream team where basically it's a space where it's specifically designed for VTubers. Because what we're doing, our aim, is we're trying to help as many VTubers out there to gain a spotlight and opportunity to grow. Because I know there's been a lot of VTubers out there that have been giving up. And a lot of people have been like, stop streaming because they felt like, it's too much, it's too stressful. And a lot of people quit, which is very a pity. Very pity. So we are making a team to help develop opportunities so that people not only have the opportunity to make friends, but also have the opportunity to do collabs together, play games together, have fun, and build as such more meaningful connections together that also inspires people to support them. And that's the little boost that helps a lot of people a lot. Because sometimes the truth is, like I mentioned, some people just need a little bit of boost to reach their dreams. And that's exactly what my stream team will provide, is a boost to give people the chance to be in opportunities that we will make in the future. Because we already have plans for the future. The only problem is we don't have enough people to make these events come to life. But it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen in the future. However, we do need the number of people to make it happen. But we're going to make these events like charity events, and we're going to help especially VTubers that are starting off on streaming to help them gain their spotlight. They deserve the spotlight and deserve the confidence to grow. And we're going to help them, and we're going to make sure to do everything in our power to inspire them, to be happy, to make them enjoy streaming much more. That's what I want to do. I want to be the beam of light to people out there that are really struggling with their self-confidence. Something that I struggled for a long fucking time. Like, for those of you who don't know, I struggle with my self-confidence a lot of times. And you guys and my friends have inspired me to grow a lot. And I've been so happy because of that I want to do the same to others. I want to spread that positive influence to make other people feel appreciated, and also show them that you are capable to achieve something big if you believe in it. Sometimes people just need that little push, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to help them. We're going to do our best to give them an opportunity to be in collabs, to make events together, to make things entertaining, to do a lot of great stuff together. And that's exactly what we'll be doing, everybody. So we're working on that. We're only like 4 or 5 people, so it's not easy, and it's struggling to gain recognition at the moment, but we're doing our best to promote it. So if anyone out there is interested, ! Vibe Ventures, that's basically the stream team. So if anyone wants to join and you want to give this stream team a chance, or sorry, Venture Vibes? Wait a minute, which one is it? Stream. I have no idea which one. Ah, there you go. Stream team, ! Stream team. Oh my goodness, I forgot my own command. How embarrassing. So if anyone wants to join Venture Vibes, you're welcome to do this command and apply. And rest assured, this application, we're not going to be too selective about things. Like, the most important thing, just be nice, be yourself, and don't take advantage of the team. Like, don't do it for the sake of gaining something and not providing something back. This is not a stream team for you to gain advantage. I mean, take advantage to, like, make connections, make friends and all that, but don't try to, like, use the stream team for the sake of growth and not provide anything to the stream team. Like, we're not expecting you to provide all the time, but at the same time, what I'm trying to say is just don't abuse the good thing about the stream team. Like, be there if you would like to get a chance to talk to people and vibe with others, and don't just join the stream team because you're going to be in an event. No. Don't have that mindset. Like, be in a stream team because you feel like you're going to connect with people. You feel like together we can make something amazing. Like, don't try to abuse a stream team for the sake because, oh my god, there's a raid train. Oh my god, there's thousands of people. What? I understand that sometimes having a large audience is nice, but the most important thing, keep in mind the mindset of why you are joining the stream team. Okay? Keep that in mind, because we have a vision and we want to work together. We don't want to take advantage of each other. We want to work together as a team so that we can make something huge and help everyone achieve their dreams and more, and even great opportunities. So please, let's work together to make everyone's dreams come true by supporting one another as a team. And I know I may be saying a lot, but trust me, I mean all of it. When we start getting more people in the stream team, you bet your ass we're gonna make more events. And with enough people, we'll make really great events that people will see what we're doing, and trust me, it will be awesome. So I just want to let you all know about that. So if you're interested, ! Stream team in the chat, and also ! Charity We're also raising money for charity, chat, so make sure to check out the charity. So yeah, go for it. Also, another thing I have in mind for 2025 goals is, by the way, if you guys have any questions, I've been talking so damn much. Please let me know, because I have non-stop talking and my voice is gonna explode. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna hydrate because my voice is parched. Feel free to ask me any questions if you guys have any questions. Hydration. Nice. So I hydrated. Better. Much better. So, also, Maxine, I noticed you were gonna ask me a question before. Because I know you said, I saw it somewhere, where was it? You said, this is the question I've asked you, and can you do me a favor, please? Can you specify in the chat what was your question exactly? Not only that there's Twitch trying to take down VTubers, and I know why. Twitch? Really? I had no idea about that. On the contrary, I thought I heard somewhere stating that there's somebody trying to make a VTubing community basically on Twitch, like a guild, pretty much. You know, like how there's like those other guilds, like Woman Guild, Twitch Latin, and much more. There's so many like Twitch guilds. There's even the Unity Guild, I believe. There's a lot of guilds. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was even discussion about VTubers. So I could be wrong, but I'm not sure. Where did you hear this exactly, Annie? Oh yeah, so perfect. We're talking about that, so that pretty much I'm gonna answer your question anyway. And basically, the other goal that I will have besides the team is I want to hopefully hit this charity by the end of next year, because we haven't reached very close to $1,000 for Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is okay. You know, like, again, not bothered by it. Gonna take it slow. If we get lucky enough to reach, you know, like a certain incentives, that's great. If not, that's okay. We'll continue until we reach the end of the goal. So hopefully we reach 1K for Make-A-Wish Foundation, because I want to continue doing good in the world for charities. So I love raising money for charities, so let's try and do our best in this. So yeah, if you guys can donate, that would be appreciative, but do it in your own comfortability. So yeah, hopefully we'll reach the charity by the end of next year, if it's possible. And pretty much, yeah, just the charity, and continue to do my... Oh yeah, definitely another goal I want to do is do my best to continue pushing content on YouTube, because I'm very far off in content, you guys. It's ridiculous. Like, it may sound like I'm trying to make up excuses, but the truth is, I have been so mentally tired with work that I don't get much time off. Like, well, off as in, like, you know, unless I'm taking a vacation leave or something like that. When I finish work, which is late, by the way, I don't get much time to rest. I don't get much time to do almost anything. And those little breaks that I take, they help a lot. Which I underestimated, because I used to be one of those people that'd be like, oh, breaks, I take 1 day break, it's fine. But then I realized the more things get difficult, the more necessary breaks can be. And I always used to say, oh, but if I take breaks, people will stop watching me, because, you know, like, people will just get bored of me, or they will forget about me. But then I realized that that's not the case, because when I specifically got sick and I had to spend a lot of months recovery, a lot of people still came, and that proved to me that it doesn't matter if you've been away for 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. People will still remember about you. it may be a little bit of, it may be a few people, maybe a lot of people. You will never leave people's mind. So it can be a long time. People will remember you. I can promise you that much. Of course, try to avoid spending too much time not streaming, but at the same time, if it's really an emergency and you have to do it, please do it. For the love of God, prioritize your mental health and physical health. Very important. So if you really have to spend a long time not streaming, go for it. But if you think you're able to do it, then go for it. I will suggest to you at the same time, try not to leave it for too long. But at the same time, take the necessary mental health breaks that you need, because it's important. Okay? Prioritize yourself, number one. But at the same time, try to make something what I call a prioritization list, which is basically like, what is your number one priority? Yourself. Number two, job. Number three, stream. Number three, friend. Whatever. Just do like a priority list to help you organize stuff, you know, like, so your brain doesn't get confused or you get, I don't know, like, get super stressed. You know, like how people do these like to-do lists to help them focus more. I strongly suggest it. It truly will help you a lot in these situations. Let's see. Well, Twitch has their favorite streamers, and because people prefer to watch VTubers more, they are not too happy about that. Certain Twitch staff are trying to ban VTubers for not... Really? That is crazy. On the contrary, I always thought that even though the VTubing community is growing, in my opinion, I thought that the VTubing community, it is getting bigger and better, like a lot, but I still feel like for the VTubing community, for some people, it can still be insanely difficult to grow being a VTuber. So it really depends. I mean, VTubing is getting bigger, of course, but man, being a VTuber is not easy at all. There's a lot of preparation. There's a lot of things. Sometimes you may need also a good computer to run VTubing and a game and the streaming at the same time. So, you know, like, being a VTuber is not easy. I'm just gonna say that right now. To be fair, not even a facecam streamer is easy, but I think being a VTuber is much more difficult because you have more things to prepare. You have to spend money on people making your own model. You have to know how to put it in a software so that it mimics your expressions, and then it replicates those expressions through something called collaboration, which is a feature that allows you to mimic the programmed expressions of your avatar by doing actual expressions in real life. So if I smile, for example, you see, my VTuber smiles as well, even though it's struggling to keep it up. But every time I smile when I'm speaking, VTuber tries to keep that smile intact, even though it's not really doing a really good job. But yeah, see, these little tricks are not easy as you think. So there's a crap ton of preparation for it. A lot of work. And if there is someone from whatever space they are, they can try to do this stupid nonsense. Trust me, people will not forget. That's what I always will say. In the life of the internet world, one thing I will say is that you can try to make people forget. It's not gonna happen. People will remember what you did, and if whether people will remember everything from the past till the present, or people just remembering the present because some people just don't want to know anything about you, which is their own problem. Like I always say, like, don't judge a book by its cover. So just because someone had a bad reputation, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are bad people. So I always say, never judge a book by its cover. Very important. And at this point, I'm like, everyone's got their challenges, you know, everyone's got their struggles. So, it's not good. Don't get me wrong. It's really bad what's going on. And I hope they stop doing that stupid stuff, because that's ridiculous. But at the same time, you know, it's not going to hurt. Like, it is hurting the VTubing community, but it's not going to hurt it to the point where people will stop loving VTubers, because people know a lot of VTubers. They seen how the VTubing community grew. So at this point, on the contrary, sometimes, you know what I always say, actually? Whenever there's something being affected by the negative, it can actually sprout into something positive in the future. Because, like I said, people will always find a reason to hate something. Always. It doesn't matter if it's from YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. It can be from anywhere. At this point, hate is everywhere, guys. There's always going to be someone that will hate you, even just for breathing air at this point. So it doesn't matter. You know, like, at this point, people can try to bring others down, which is a really bad thing to do, and I encourage those people to stop. But obviously, these people can be sometimes ignorant, and trust me, there's a lot of hate and problems in the world that, trust me, it's difficult to convince people to try and shift their thoughts into something better. But one thing I will say, we bound together as a community and we help each other. And we keep the positive vibes going. And if anyone tries to do anything to hurt that because they don't want to help, they want to only cause destruction and negativity, we do what's the right thing. And the right thing will be the decision you make. All right? Of course, a decision that hopefully impacts the way to make things right from both ends. But if it's not possible, then you do what's necessary for you at the end of the day, because it's your decision at the end of the day. So yeah, you know, like, these things happen, and it's unfortunate. Like, anywhere you go, people will hate you just by breathing air. So unfortunately, that's the sad reality we live in. So it's not like it's something rare that never happens. Unfortunately, that's the problem. It happens too much. So we're used to it at this point. But again, I will say this many times, you are never alone. So whenever you are in situations where you feel like life is being too rough on you, always remember that there's always someone that can help you, someone that can make you happy. So if you ever feel like you're alone, you don't ever have to be. You're listening to someone who wants to help you, who wants to make you feel happy. Sure, I can be a dumbass sometimes. I mean, who's not? I mean, not even surprisingly there, but the good thing is that from everything that I'm saying, I mean it. I do care and I want to listen to you. And that says enough that I really want to help you. You might ask me, but why would you do such a thing for a stranger? Because I know most of the time what it's like. And I just want to do the right thing because I just want to be happy doing the right thing. Because it makes me happy and it also makes others happy. And I'm like the power of light in Kingdom Hearts. Basically, they shine bright based on the positive energy towards their friends. And pretty much I'm the same way. So anytime I get friends being so happy and energetic, that gives me like the positive energy, because they influence me and I influence them. And we like give energy to each other and we keep each other happy and occupied and all that. So I just value the connection between each other. And that helps us a lot. Because it's a very powerful energy and connection that is really difficult to establish. Like, it's really difficult to establish, guys. Sometimes it takes years for people to trust, and that's okay. But when you have that connection, it's a very beautiful thing. So yeah, trust me, it's a really beautiful thing, I must say. So we should all be grateful for the connections we have made throughout the years of our lives. Because I think it's a very important matter to think about and realize how lucky you are and how fortunate you are to have made such awesome people within your life. I think that's a very important realization to think about, because that will make you even more happier knowing the fact that you still have really good friends who actually cares about you. So it's very important, in my opinion, to consider these kind of thoughts. And I think I can say one more thing before we end the stream. So another thing I really want to achieve in 2025 is I want to work with a company, more companies in the future. VTubing, I really want to work with a big company like VTubing because like it's a company that really helps VTubers and a really awesome company that, you know, provides the tools and help and support for VTubers. And I want to be lucky enough to get supported by a company like them so that I can inspire more creators to become more awesome in their VTubing career or opportunity or hobby. So I want to be lucky enough that I grow in a situation where I can actually expand enough to be in opportunities like this, where I get invited by companies, where I get invited by other awesome big YouTubers out there that have God knows how many people watching them, that I would love to be in a podcast to showcase what I have to say and be more confident. I never had an opportunity to speak with someone in such a high caliber and experience and ways of thinking. So for me to have an opportunity to speak to people, not because of the fact they have lots of viewers, it's because they are so intelligent. They know YouTube and stuff like the back of their hand. They're intelligent people. They have more experience than me, obviously, because they started YouTube and Twitch way before I did. So obviously they're more knowledgeable in these things, right? And I don't really want to do it in the mindset to take advantage just because, oh my God, they have such a large number of people watching. No. It's because I love to get a chance to, first of all, see if I can connect with these people, because first of all, they inspire me. And second of all, just express my gratitude and just vibe with them. That's it. You know, like I am super inspired by these people. So I really want to get a chance to like even talk to them privately would be awesome, because that's the really challenging part. Sometimes these people get so much DMs and invites that it gets overwhelming for them, and I understand it completely. So if I ever get an opportunity to talk to someone privately, literally even privately, that would be the most awesome thing ever, because I've never had a chance or opportunity to talk to someone privately, just have a normal conversation with someone literally who has been doing YouTube or Twitch for a long time. If I ever get the chance to talk to someone privately who happened to have a great personality, which I enjoy, just like Jacksepticeye Caseoh, especially Jack, like it's a dream come true for me. You know, so if I ever get the chance to just experience a moment to just learn from them and talk to them, even like me and Jack, we can talk about autism, which is fucking awesome topic to do. Like, I'm all here for it. Like, man, if you want to talk about autism, hell yeah, let's go. Like, I'm all ready to be open about it. Like, I want to learn. We can teach each other. It's absolutely a very intriguing and complex topic, but I'm all here for it because it's important to have self-awareness on these things, especially when you know you're diagnosed with it. So it's not a bad idea to be knowledgeable about these things. So an opportunity like this to talk to people that are relatable to you is a hell of an awesome opportunity for me. In fact, I would love to do collabs in the future where I can find someone who's also diagnosed with autism and like literally do a podcast together. I think that would spread education and much more awesome vibes of positivity, in my opinion. I think that would be a very beautiful thing. So if anyone out there who has autism would like to be in a podcast in the future, please DM me on Discord, because I would like to make an opportunity like that in the future. I think it would be fantastic and it would be a awesome thing to do together. And that is literally having an opportunity to do a collab and talk about streaming and talk about especially autism and advantages, disadvantages, experiences, so on and so forth. It would be nice. It would be a fun conversation, in my opinion. So yeah. Also, T, welcome on in over on YouTube. Hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. Thank you so much for joining. It's going well. We are just about to close the stream. We were just talking about different topics. We talked about like my inspirational streamers like Caseoh and Jacksepticeye. I also talked about the growth of VTubing. So I've been talking about how like VTubing can be difficult for people, and also the fact that VTubing grew so much throughout the years that remember back in the days where people had no idea what the hell VTubing is, and now it's been growing incredibly huge due to the fact that there's like these really awesome inspirational VTubers like Iron Mouse, which is a fantastic VTuber in my opinion. So like we've been having these really cool topics to discuss, and also the 2025 goals. Like I've been talking about 2025 goals. So exactly, that's what I've been saying, T. You know, like I've been saying, if I ever had the opportunity to be in a podcast with him, even just to have private DMs, to just discuss and talk and educate each other about autism, that's like awesome stuff. In fact, when he was so open about it and he started talking about it, and he was very talking in a very inspirational and knowledgeable way, he was giving people self-awareness about autism. And due to the fact that he's a content creator with such large audience, to that caliber as a YouTuber and a content creator, to have the motivation to speak about something that you're diagnosed professionally live on camera, it is not easy whatsoever. Because people are scared that when they talk about autism, they get judged, they get harassed, they get abused because of it. So the fact that this legend had the guts to talk about his autism and literally express it in the most professional way, to give self-awareness to people, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Because it's not easy. It really isn't. Autism as a whole is a very complex spectrum. So imagine you trying to explain. Even I can't explain. I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional. I can't talk much about autism. I mean, I know about autism because I'm born with it, but the spectrum is so huge that it's just crazy. Like to cater, like I didn't even know that ADHD falls under the autism spectrum. I had no idea. There's so much things that falls under the autism spectrum. I know people have learning disabilities, like myself. Like I have a bit of learning disability because I struggle to learn by listening, but I'm a very good learner when it comes to observation. So I'm the kind of person that I may struggle to learn by just hearing, but I'm very good at learning by just looking at things. And that proved it to me when I went ice skating yesterday, and it showed me and it convinced me, even in my own saying, that when I saw people ice skating for the first time in my life, I saw people, I tried to mimic what they were doing simply by just looking, because people were telling me a lot of things. You need to spread your arm, you need to spread your legs, you need to bend your... I tried everything. I listened to them. I did exactly what they told me. I still couldn't do it. Then what happened? I just literally looked at people doing it. Like people actually not falling and actually skating like they're normally skating. And somehow I managed to get a little progress without falling. Of course I did fall eventually, but I made progress. Like going in the middle of the ice skating without falling. That's already a huge accomplishment to me, because it's really fucking difficult. And trust me, if you fall, you're gonna hurt your ass. Like ice skating can be painful. If you fall the wrong way, you can seriously injure yourself. So ice skating is an interesting hobby, but man, I can see why people are afraid to do it, because if you fall the wrong way, you can end up in the hospital if you're not careful. So it can be dangerous if you're not careful. So, you know, that's the thing. But I was so confident in myself that I did something that is also dangerous, because I knew I was going to fall and hurt myself, at least not too much. And I still managed to do something new, and it gave me more confidence. And now I have something new that I like. And now I'm going to start going ice skating once every year. I seriously enjoyed it. It was so fucking awesome. Because Malta, which is, by the way, where I live in Malta, we don't have snow. We never have snow. We can't have snow. Malta never has snow. So I was like, how the hell do we have ice skating when we never have snow? How is it possible to skate when there's no snow? And I forgot there's like these machines that produce ice. So obviously they have these machines. They're like giant ACs, but they're specifically designed to make snow. And obviously they use really advanced machinery to make snow so that they can create like this really cool ice skating for them, for people to do. So, and trust me, there was a lot of people, guys, like, holy shit. Like, because the funny thing is, there was only one spot in Malta where you can ice skate, and that's it. Imagine 150 people in one time frame, because basically what they have ice skating in a time frame. So you have, for example, from 4 o'clock till 4:55, from 5 o'clock till 5:55, and those are all time slots. It's like when you're booking to go watch a movie in a cinema. This is pretty much the same thing. And each time frame caters 150 people to go ice skating. Obviously, they will still have to wait in queue. But man, I wouldn't be lying when I tell you that on the day that I booked my time frame to go ice skating with my friends, it was fully booked. I'm not even joking. 150 slots. They were all booked. It was full. In fact, one of my friends tried to book it. Literally, she couldn't even get in. She was like, guys, I'm sorry, but I can't ice skate. We were like, why? I was like, I'm trying to book, but it's fully booked. I'm like, really? I'm like, there was like 150 slots. Like, are they seriously all fully booked? She told me, yep, apparently it's all fully booked. I tried logging in, it didn't let me, and when she did log in, it was fully booked. She couldn't pay for it. She couldn't pay for the same slot that we did. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I can't believe for how small a country is, they managed to do something so unique that it filled up in a matter of seconds. And I can imagine the amount of money they did, because fucking hell. I mean, ice skating is so cool, you guys. And it happens in Malta. Apparently, they told me it happens once every year during December in Christmas time. So obviously, you're not going to get the chance to go ice skating in summer or in the beginning of January. So, you know, like, it happens once every year in December. And holy shit, it's so nice. It hurts. You will hurt your ass. It's tiring, but it's so nice. I'm telling you, chat, it's amazing. That's all I have to say. Anyways, thank you very, very much to all the people out there that watched the live stream over on YouTube and Twitch. I hope you guys enjoyed this awesome conversation. Also, James Oliver, thank you so much for joining. I apologize for not mentioning there. Moderators, please let me know next time if there's someone talking in the vertical stream, because I missed someone. James, thank you so much for joining in. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. Thank you all so much for watching this live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed something a little bit different than usual. It made me feel so comfortable and happy to be open about what I feel, you know, and you guys being open about it and listening and, you know, not being toxic about it. It's really awesome. So I appreciate you guys for just listening. Of course, what I say is just an opinion. Everyone is entitled for their opinion, but I just appreciate the fact that you guys were not toxic about it or anything like that, you know, because at the end of the day, I'm just sharing my experience and my opinion. That's it. Everyone can disagree or agree, but one thing I always appreciate is no toxicity while we are having this discussion, because I just want to have fun, and that's it, you know, even if we're just talking. So thank you everybody for the lovely vibes. We are going to go ahead and find someone to raid. So let's go ahead and find someone to raid, everybody. Let's see. So who do we have to raid over on Twitch? Also, thank you so much for watching over on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for everyone's support today. I really had fun chatting. That was really awesome. I really enjoyed myself. Let me see, who do we have? There's a lot of people here. Holy shit, how do I decide? How the fuck do I decide? What should I click? Let's see. I actually... So, you know what? I have an idea exactly how I want us to... So I just want to raid. I'm trying to see who to raid because there's so many people to raid. That's the tricky part. And they're all good people, don't get me wrong. They're all really awesome people, in my opinion. Actually, you know what, guys? I'm gonna raid someone that I haven't raided in a while. And he's playing Dead by Daylight. His name is Vilsort. Let's go ahead and raid Vilsort. He's a horror streamer. And he's a very awesome streamer. So let's go ahead and raid Vilsort. He's such a nice guy. He really is. He has this really fun, energetic personality. So let's go ahead and raid Vilsort, playing some DBD, also known as Dead by Daylight. All right, let's go ahead and raid. There you go. Ah, fuck. That's not what I wanted to do. Give me 1 second. Raid. Oh, come on. Stop. Excuse me. Command. You don't get to copy and paste things that I don't want you to. Thank you. Guys, take care, everybody, and thank you so much for your time. That was a lot of fun today. And thank you for so many people for listening. Holy shit. You guys are awesome. I can't believe you guys would actually sit around to just listen to me. That is so awesome. Seriously. I had so much fun doing this just chatting. It felt relaxing. It felt like I had a lot of awesome things. Yeah, I know, Frogo. Oh, god damn it. Oh, that works too. Okay, never mind. That works. Fine. That's good. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was really great. I enjoyed myself. Take care, guys. Have a good one. People, VTubers, animals, whatever makes you happy. I'll see you guys next time for some more lovely vibes and more games to multi-stream, including multiplayer games and much more, such as Mario Kart. Where anyone who has Mario Kart, you're welcome to join me on the weekends, because I know a lot of people love Mario Kart Deluxe. So if you have Mario Kart, you're welcome to join me on the weekends, because that's when we normally do the community nights. So feel free to join in when we do Mario Kart multi-streams. Take care, have a good one, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, and take care.